Hey, everybody, and welcome to episode 33 of the Galactic Window Space Podcast. My name is Nick, and I'm known as the Orbital Alliance here on the internet. It is good to have everyone here watching with us live here on YouTube. And for those of you who are watching in the replay after the fact, it is also a pleasure to have you here listening in at whatever time of day that you might be pulling this up. Just so you guys know, if you're new to the podcast, this is a space and astronomy podcast where we talk about all things space and astronomy. Like, who guessed, you know? But we just love space. And usually we have Tan, my co-host, here. And he's not here tonight because he's doing something very astronomical. And I thought, I was like, hey, that's so cool. Go get it, dude. There's actually a really cool event happening in the night sky tonight. Actually, right now, it's the occultation of Mars, which basically means that the moon is kind of obscuring Mars from our perspective here on Earth. And Tan really wanted to capture that full moon moment. So he is off for the night. So we have a little bit of a change of plans. So that being considered, I just want to pay attention here and say hello to all of you who showed up in the live chat, because that is a big component of the show. Is we like to interact with our community that likes to talk about space and astronomy. And you don't need to know anything about those things to participate, so feel free to do that. We may even feature your comment live here on stream. So I see Dan. What's happening? Tan is frozen as well. How's it going, man? We see Johnny. What's going on? Not sure if Tony is here. Also, hey, Kayla, what's going on? Why I oughta. I'll give you an occultation. Big deal. Want to fight about it? But yeah, it's so much fun to talk about cool things with cool people all around planet Earth. We've had lots of people from literally all over the world tune in to the show, which is really, really great. One of the reasons why I wanted to do the podcast in the first place was to connect with people who love what I love. And that does not limit it to people in my town or in my state or even in my country. It's humans from planet Earth. And we've done some really cool things. We've had episodes where we've connected with people literally in the middle of the Pacific Ocean. If you watched Stacey Morgan's episode, she was on Kwajalein Atoll in the middle of the Pacific in the Marshall Islands. So it doesn't matter where you are, what you're doing. If you like space, you're welcome here. Feel free to drop questions about space in the live chat, because you never know. You need to learn something that you've always had a question for, that you're looking for an answer for. It's likely someone else wants to know that as well. So help others learn when you're learning. There's no shame, no wrong questions or wrong answers. But tonight, because Tan's not here, I was like, what can I be doing tonight? Because otherwise I was just going to host this podcast solo, which is fine. But I always go back to when I asked Tan to join the podcast, I was like, you know what? There's always a better energy when you're talking with people that you can kind of bounce back and forth. So I thought, let's get a co-host. But because Tan's off, I needed to bring somebody in to help me out. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to bring in a very special friend of mine. And here we go. Let's bring in Mr. Godfather Astro.
How you doing? I heard you had to call in the righty from the bullpen.
Yeah. Yes.
Here to close the game out.
Yeah. The relief pitcher in the house. Dude, it's so good to have you here, dude. It's this is a really cool thing that I have never done, aside from Tan. He was a little bit of an exception, but is to bring back somebody on the show. And you are a very special entry to the Galactic Window Space Podcast, because you were the very first guest ever on the show.
Well, thank you for having me back. I very much appreciate it. And I am honored to be also your first repeat guest. So
yeah,
a lot of firsts between me and you, sir.
Right. Yeah. A lot of firsts and many a Portillo's meal.
Mm-hmm.
But dude, it's really cool to be talking with you, and I'm grateful that you were willing to jump in and help out. This is really cool.
No problem. Excited to do it.
Mm-hmm. Well, there's a lot to talk about, because the astronomical world is never boring, as we both know. And there's so much happening, not only in the night sky, but in the digital astro world as well. So I think we could get into a couple of those things. But we kind of talked about Tan being out because he wanted to photograph and live stream the occultation of Mars with the moon. So do we want to talk a little bit about what that all means?
Yeah, I mean, it is a big event. And from my understanding, it hasn't happened it's been 2 years since it happened prior. So I think 2022. So today there was the occultation of Luna occultated Mars. So we got to watch the red planet, like kind of lead into, let me do this right. So here's the red planet, here's the moon, and it kind of went tick, tick, and then disappeared, and you got to watch it disappear behind the moon. I'm excited. You got some pictures, and I got to watch it live and not freeze. So that's awesome.
Right. Well, yeah. I mean, like, what is it? It's currently 11 degrees Fahrenheit with, I don't know what the wind chill is.
Yeah, no, it felt bitterly cold.
I'm checking it right now. Wind chill is +2 Fahrenheit. So
cold enough. 2 degrees.
Yeah. So for those of you who are unfamiliar with occultations, one of the things that kind of happens is you're kind of balancing 3 different movements. So the Earth is spinning, of course. So you're watching the stars kind of move throughout the sky, the moon move throughout the sky, Mars is moving because we're spinning around, and we spin way faster than those things move. But the moon is also moving in one direction as well because it's revolving around planet Earth. So you got to balance those 2 speeds, the speed of the Earth rotating, the moon revolving, and then even Mars is moving, even though that's relatively undetectable unless you like past like several weeks or several months by, you'll actually start noticing that. But it's kind of wild to see this happen. But the moon, goes right in front of it, and it is like this cool little event. And like Joe said, it was like 2 years ago. Did you capture it 2 years ago or see it?
No, I believe I was clouded out 2 years ago, and the universe has seen fit to now freeze me out.
You're right. Yeah. I do remember that. I went out to get it, and I remember it being opaque, like with clouds. Because you and I are like so close together. We had pretty much the same weather conditions. And I remember it broke for just a little bit, and I captured some semi-fuzzy pictures, but I just barely saw it when that happened 2 years ago. But this was much better seeing conditions. It's like crystal clear out right now.
Yeah, it's actually kind of nice, barring the freezing temperature. But
right. Did you... Oh, maybe you wouldn't have, because I think we had to be in a specific place for it. But there was the Saturn occultation was like a couple months ago, wasn't it?
Yeah, and I want to say was it good viewing that day? And I think I had a personal engagement that I couldn't get away from.
Yeah, I can't remember. I remember Andrew McCarthy talking about it when we had him on in November because he went to Hawaii to shoot.
Oh,
yeah,
that's cool.
Right? Yeah, I know. Like I think he was trying to get like prime conditions for it. I don't remember if it was visible here in Illinois, but these planetary occultations happen, not regularly, but on occasion. It's not like super rare, but you got to be ready for them. And if you miss it,
Right. Like this is every 2 years or about that. So that's relatively, and it's so cool to see.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, totally. Well, it takes like almost an hour or something like that for it to actually pass. Like,
yeah. I had the times listed out, but then when, I was going to sign on to do this, I kind of I was happy to see it disappear.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, This is cool. That I'm glad I got to see that aspect of it. So that was really cool. And
totally.
And then Mars is at its closest, right? Isn't Mars now the word escapes me now.
Opposition.
There you go.
Yeah.
So Mars is very bright right now, which is really cool. And Jupiter bright as always in the night sky. And so there's Venus, there's Saturn, there's Jupiter and Mars and the moon. So like there are a lot of things that you can see in the night sky that don't require a telescope. You can just visually see them. A pair of binoculars will do you well too, which is an exciting time right now for astronomy, like visual astronomy. There's a lot of cool things.
And the mega bonus is that it's in the evening. It's not in like the stupid early morning at like stupid o'clock.
Yes. Right. You can get your dreams in and then
right. Well, it's like you can eat dinner and then walk outside and still see it. And it's not before many people's bedtimes, which is a huge win because a lot of people I think are turned off about astronomy because like, oh, I don't stay up until 2 a.m. It's like, well, this time you don't have to see something cool. And most of them are pretty hard to miss. They're brighter than most things,
Right.
Mhm.
Right.
So just
Although
get
Saturn's getting kind of hard to see. Like it's
Yes.
dimming down. Like it's
Mhm.
past its opposition. And like that was the other time I was trying to locate it. And I'm like, why am I having such a difficult time finding Saturn? And it's like, oh wow, it's literally dimming out now. So it's as it's getting farther away, it gets less bright.
Right. True story. I think it's just up and to the left from Venus out in the western sky after sunset. So you see like these this two pair, those are, close little buddies, even though they're actually like ridiculously far apart. But
I think that's what gets lost. And actually today, seeing the moon so big and then you see Mars so small, it gives that distance. And Mars is so much bigger than the moon. It's just the fact that the moon is so close to us is like you would just go, what is that little speck? It's like, no, that's not little at all. That's
right.
That's massive. It's just farther away.
Yeah, right. Going to use the highly scientific term again. It's stupid far away.
I like that. I like that reference.
Yeah,
that's good.
Right.
That's almost as fun to say as freedom units.
Yeah.
I like that one.
Yes. Oh my gosh, dude! Speaking of freedom units, I saw a TikTok today that was, I think it was at the Philadelphia Eagles game. They like released a real live eagle in the stadium, and it flew around and did like a couple laps before the game.
Awesome.
And then it came back and landed on like the trainer's arm. And the top comment was, "I'm a Canadian, and we could never train a goose to do that." Like I'm a jealous Canadian because we can never train a goose to do that.
No, they're too mean. They
Right.
would just attack everyone. Geese are not nice.
Right. Yeah. Really quick, I want to throw it over here to the chat. The Spaceflight guy, what's happening, dude? Can't stay for a little stream. Just want to say thank you to both of you for your support on TikTok. You both made my day and taught me quite a bit. That is so nice of you to say. And
That is.
I mean, I know this, like, we're going to talk about this tonight too, but the TikTok ban is coming up, and that's going to impact, of course, our creator nature, on the internet. But the Spaceflight guy, I met him, gosh, it was like right as I went live for the first time on TikTok. He joined in and he raided me with his community, and like I got like my first gifts right away on a TikTok live stream. I grew like a ton in like followers. It was insane. It was like one of the best nights. So I owe you so much, and I'm glad that we've maybe even given you an iota of that in return. So glad you're stopping by here tonight. Hope you're doing well, and I'm certain, regardless of what happens on TikTok, we'll run into each other on space internet.
All right.
What's up, Angie? How's it going? Good to see you in here.
Hey, Angie.
We all might need to take up jobs at McDonald's. Yeah, I know, right? Dude, for real. Yes.
Did you want that quarter pounder with cheese, or I'll give you the meal?
Yeah, you're right. See, you got it made, dude. You've already nailed it.
Right. Yeah.
You also need to ask if you want to use your mobile app today.
Oh my God. I'm like, can I just go to the counter, please? I do.
Right.
Between the machines and now the mobile app. Oh yeah.
We've been talking about that recently because it's like it varies from restaurant to restaurant, and I feel like most fast food places ask you now, and it balances between a pre-recorded message, or the actual human at the window speaking to you, like, do you want to use your mobile app today? And I hate that I have to guess. I'm like, am I talking to a recording or a real person? At the end of the day, you end up talking to the real person no matter what. But it's like, there might be a dude who's like, do you want to use your mobile app today? And I'll be like, no, thank you. And then it's a woman like a second later is like, okay, what can I take your order? And I'm like,
my little game is how radically different the voices are.
Mm-hmm.
So it could be like, do you want to use the mobile app today? Welcome to my life. And McDonald's. Yeah.
Dude, right?
Do you want the quarter pounder with cheese? And I'm like, wait, what? Who am I talking to? Are you guys just... I secretly hope that there's just two people bouncing the headset around and they actually can see the confusion on my face.
Right.
That's what I want.
Mm-hmm. Dude, I can't imagine. I've never worked fast food, but I can only imagine the level of I don't know, craziness that they endure at windows. And I bet they have cameras that can see the people's faces. Because, I mean, people get so smug at drive-through windows, right? and they I'm sure they roll their eyes, or they do all sorts of insulting things. And they probably get either cheap laugh or they build up some form of...
As someone who was in the restaurant industry for a long time, I can promise you that, yes, they're making fun of you in the back. Like, right. if you make their life miserable, they will definitely remember you and make fun of you. Yes.
Yep, man. I have mad respect for people who can work in the food industry.
Yeah, they have my sympathy. I am done with that part of my life, so I don't miss it one bit. But
I love this chat that's happening here. Which fast food restaurant will make it to space first? And the reply here from the Spacefly guy is Shake Shack is on airplanes now, so they're the closest right now.
Oh.
And then I love this. This is my friend Johnny. He does an excellent Patrick Warburton impression of Kronk from The Emperor's New Groove in Kronk voice. No, he's got a point. I can't do it nearly as well as he can.
Right. I'm gonna lobby for Portillo's. Like I think that's mandatory. I think they got a good mix.
Yes, I agree.
Right? Portillo's in space.
Space shake, space cake shake.
Yes, thank you.
Made with real meteorites.
Right. I think that will be the thing that pushes us to Mars. Is if they say Portillo's announces an opening in Mars, like a new location in Mars, that would propel the human race to be up there.
If you get enough people on those ships and give them Portillo's, then they'll be creating flatulent propulsion systems, and just keep giving them large chocolate cake shakes, and they'll be there in no time. Record pace.
The new meaning to scramjet.
Yes, exactly.
There you go. You heard it here first, folks. We've patented that idea.
Right.
The flatulence drive.
Oh my gosh.
The card
Elon
would
Musk
cry.
Hire us. Yeah. Oh, that's so funny.
That wasn't on my bucket list to talk about tonight, but hey, I didn't have that on my bingo card. That's the phrase I was
there.
Looking
It is.
for. There you go.
But it is now.
Right.
And that's
there
okay. Oh my gosh. Really quick, I thought it would be fun.
Yeah.
We were talking about the occultation. I did jump out probably an hour before the show. And I grabbed some snapshots with my 600 millimeter lens.
Cool. Let's see them.
I thought I'd bring it up. I haven't edited them, so they are very raw. But let's see what we can do here. If you guys want to see this, I'm gonna pull up Lightroom, if it'll let me. Will it let me? Oh, will it not let me open Lightroom?
Oh,
maybe
no.
I can just.
I can sketch it out in like in Windows Paint.
Yes. Oh my gosh.
I am the mood.
All right. Well, here, bear with me. I'm gonna just export one real quick, and we can see how that works. It's gonna be very, very loose, but I want to at least show you guys what this event looked like in real time. Or not in real time, but like in real detail. Let's see what we can do here. This is like a real crummy...
I'm curious to see how you did the focus. Like, because I know on the cell phone it was either you pick the moon or you pick Mars.
Right. I mean, I got as close as I could. I tried to use... It's not like that phenomenal because at 600 is just not enough to get you close enough. But you can resolve both, and Mars is just like a couple of pixels, so it's not that great. But the focus is mostly on the moon. Is this gonna even look any good here? It's not. It's really not, but that's okay. All right, let me export this.
All right.
I'm bummed that it wouldn't let me screen share Lightroom. What the heck?
I'm surprised.
That's some straight up nonsense right there.
There it is.
For those of you who have
tomfoolery
just joined us here, I see you, Tony. I see you in his house. Just want to say thanks for tuning into the podcast tonight. Be sure to share this link with your friends who might be interested in space and astronomy. We're talking about the moon covering up Mars tonight. I believe Mars has popped out again. So if you walk outside, you'll be seeing it. Just next to the moon. Mars occultation.
I am Ollie.
Let's see here.
Yeah, no, it was a really cool event. It's what was cool is while Nick's getting the picture up, that it's a visual event that you don't really require a telescope, which makes it one of the best. I really like it because you can literally just put on Facebook, hey, go check out the moon, which I did. And I got a lot of friends who probably would have been stuck in their house freezing, at least poke their heads out, hopefully, and got to see the big orange dot in the sky and then slide over and behind the moon and disappear.
All right, here we go. All right, you guys see that? What's happening?
Oh, there it is.
Welcome in.
I got it. Oh, there it is. Lower left.
Yeah, so let me zoom in here. Where did I put this? There it is. All right, so here's the moon. Obviously, this is, again, pretty raw and unedited, but you can see that little orange dot there. There's Mars. Pretty low res, but
that's pretty cool, though.
But it's there. It's right next to it. And then all of maybe 3 minutes later, it was behind the moon. So there it is.
Man, that's so cool.
I wonder, maybe I can play the video. I did take some video here. Let me pull that up real quick. Let me see if that works.
Cool.
That shouldn't take more than a second, but we got 11 people in. Welcome in, everybody.
Hey, welcome in, everybody. Oh, yeah. See, I can't see any numbers. I just see what comments put up there. So make sure you say hi in the chat. If you just popped in, we'd love to hear from you. Let us know in the chat if you guys actually saw the occultation. Were you able to get out and check out the moon tonight?
Good call.
Yeah, definitely.
Here we go. Okay, so I'm going to share. This is a video. At the last second, I turned on video recording, and let me see if I can. Can I pinch and zoom this at all? No, it doesn't look like it. So we're gonna. It's not gonna be so helpful.
Imagine Mars.
Let's see. Wait. Oh, I wish I could do it. It's way on the bottom left. I don't know. Nobody's gonna be able to see that.
Yeah, that's that.
But it's there. I'll have to edit it and zoom in later. But it's down here in this corner.
The magic of real time.
Yeah. Sorry, guys. There was definitely no time to be editing it before the show, but it did get captured, so I'm happy I got something.
Hey, it's better than being clouded out or not being able to see it at all.
Right. Well, I feel like I haven't done anything astro photography related in months, so it was nice to get out and do something and feel like I logged at least half of a win,
I got a whole bunch of, well, not a whole bunch, but I got some nice new equipment. And it's just the joy of being in. I'm assuming this is the same problem for most of the Midwest. I know we have some friends in Wisconsin that are same issues. It's just super cold. It's, it's the equipment doesn't play right. I think my last live, the mount froze. Like it literally, like it just stopped moving. And I was just like, oh no, milk raid.
Wait, what? Milk raid? Tan, what are you doing?
I've been discovered.
Yeah. JC dropping in the chat. Yeah. If there's a red dot on your chest.
Right. The Scooby gang has arrived and go, you're not Tan.
I would have gotten away with it too if we weren't meddling astrophotographers.
Right. That's funny.
If Tan sent you and you're just joining, thanks for coming in, and hope you hang out for the rest of the night with me, Nick, and Godfather Joe over here, who's one of my dearest astro friends.
Yes, sir. Same. Yeah, welcome in, guys. Yeah, if you don't know me, my name's Joe, Godfather Astro. I also am on TikTok, I guess, for a few more days, like everybody else. But welcome in. Thanks for bearing with me while I hold the chair down for Tan. And, getting back to the stupid cold weather, another thing that like really hampers our hobby is just, wow. The difficulty on the equipment. So even though you've got all this nice stuff and it might be clear, being in the negative temperature is not really conducive to the equipment dews over or ices over. It's it's
Mm-hmm.
not a fun thing.
So the mount locked up on you?
Yeah,
And
it literally just because then I pulled it into the garage thinking, like, I ended the live stream and I'm like, oh wow, bummer. I wonder if it broke.
Mhm.
That's odd. It was working and then just suddenly stopped. It didn't work. I brought it inside, and then as soon as it got back up to temperature, just went back to working again. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, I guess there's a sweet spot with the temperature. So
Right. You just need to mount a hair dryer on a tripod and just run an extension cord from your garage and just put it on high so it keeps it
right.
warm. or like rubber band some hand warmers to the outside of it.
Yeah, I was what's funny is I took the Dobsonian out and I have a portable heater that I plug in. And I didn't realize I was aiming it at the telescope, and I think the image got so wobbly because the inside of the scope was getting hot.
Really?
And so it was
man.
causing, like, how you have to acclimate the inside of the Dobsonian, you have to acclimate the inside tube temperature to the outside so there's no ripples. So I was just like, wow, the seeing isn't this bad. Why is my image so bad? And I'm like, oh, because you're aiming like a whole like heater at it. Like, oh,
Right.
okay.
It's wild how much impact temperature has
Mhm.
on imaging and observation. Which makes me like really want to know what it's like to use a telescope in space where that's, I guess that can be an issue, but for different ways. Like not at least not without air.
They have like a C5, right? There's a telescope that I think Celestron like kind of brags on that was on the space shuttles that you see them with.
Really?
And I want to say it's a C5. Now that could have been like, like older space missions. They probably have something much nicer now. But I was wondering, I was like, can you imagine well, I mean, you have Hubble and then, the James Webb Space Telescope now. Like, you just avoid the whole atmosphere altogether. Like it's got to be amazing, and there is no light pollution. So that has to be fantastic.
Yeah. Well, the James Webb's got that giant shield that like that metal like deployable or it's like it looks like aluminum foil like expansion stretched out to block the sun, which I think also just keeps it cooler, but also like it eliminates any sort of like stray light. Which is we need those for street lamps.
Right. I wish I could just put a dimmer switch on the light. I have a light right in front of my house that just kills my view of Orion. Like it's literally perfectly placed to destroy like all my southern targets that I have to wait until it gets past the light. And then there's always that gradation that I have to remove in post-processing. And it's just, I just shake my fist at that light.
Like, that's where the old BB gun comes in.
I'm tempted. The problem is all my neighbors know what I do. So if that went away, they would all be like, it was him.
Yeah.
The guy with the telescope.
Yep.
Was talking to nobody all night.
And that's when the SWAT team kicks through your window in the middle of the night and puts a bag over your head.
Right. I just wanted to get a picture of Orion. Come on.
Right. Yeah, Orion's code for drugs, right?
Right.
That's what the kids call it these days.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, meteor shower. Right. Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Comet tail my butt.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Do you have equipment to measure light pollution? There is a piece of equipment you can get that does that. I forget what the name of it is, but there is something that will give you measurable numbers, and then you can take those numbers and I think you can kind of gear your equipment or it'll tell you what filters to use. It's just easier to play with filters. On a full moon, you would probably just use a dual narrowband filter and just go after, HA targets, very bright nebula. You don't want to go after the dim stuff. And then when the moon is new, that's that would be, our yay day, because then you can just use a very broadband filter, because you ultimately want to capture as much light as possible. And, or as they always say, the best filter is a full tank of gas and just drive away from all city lights.
Yeah. Oh, good point. I've never heard that. That's great. That's genius.
Oh yeah. Like when I was like looking up what's the best, because you think, oh, I'll just get the best filter, and they're, they can only do so much, right? It's,
well, it was. It's good to know, because I didn't know there was like a purchasable piece of equipment to measure light pollution that like is a consumer level. Thing.
Let me open a new browser. Oh my gosh, there was a lady, I saw a YouTube video, because I was looking at that. I was like, oh, because now there's something called the Bortle scale, where you can look it up, and you'll get a number, and it's kind of like 1 through 9. I think it is 9 being the worst. So 9 is like heart of the city, like downtown Chicago. And then 5 and 6 is like the suburbs, kind of like near a city. That's where I currently am. And then you get like 3, 4. And I think that's when we went down to Door County. I think we were in a 2, 3, somewhere around there.
Yeah, there's like 2, 2, 3. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, which was, really nice. And I think I went to that one park that was a 2. And it was, stunning. But my point being that Bortle scale kind of changes. Like when I moved here 10 years ago, there was just farmland on the other side of the major road by our house. And now it's all houses. And there's literally a holiday light display that puts the lights that shoot in the sky.
Yeah.
And they wait for clear nights to do it. And you're just like, really? Yeah. None screws up my photos like a wee.
Yes. But come on, man, you got to listen to Mariah Carey 1,000
times.
Right.
And I'm just like, why you got to make me hate the holidays? Don't do that.
Right.
What's up, Zerillo? Dude, awesome live. Thank you for sharing that. I got to see the occultation through your live, so I appreciate that.
Yeah, what's happening, Alex? What's happening, Daniel? Good to see you guys in. Welcome. And there's no such thing as late when it comes to space, because it's always late when you're trying to look at the night sky. No worries.
Measuring device.
Man,
it's probably got a cool name.
Right, it's like a something-ometer.
Oh, it's a sky quality meter.
Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah, I'm a little disappointed. I wanted like a
bortleometer.
Right, a bortleometer. a flux light measurer.
Right.
Light dispensation.
Bortle capacitor.
Right. A quantum sensor. I don't know if that does it might just be a fancy name for something that's not, but yeah, a quantum sensor sounds about right.
Here's the thing though. Is it powered by AI? Because if it's not, I don't want it.
Right. No. I swear they just put in powered by AI for no reason.
Yes.
And AI is probably just some dude they hired. That's the intern.
Right. Yes.
They're like, it theoretically is powered by AI.
It's like, it's some guy named like Alex Isaac or something like that. And it's like,
he's like, you see, it's on a name tag.
Yeah, right. Well, hey, these days pizza is powered by AI,
Right.
It's crazy. Oh gosh. Zaliro, you got to see the occultation. First time ever, always a special experience to see something for the first time. Dude, that's sweet. That's super cool. Good for you, man.
The pictures I got of it, like I copied off of his live, and he was using a Dobsonian, which was really nice. It was really cool. Yeah, that's cool. So I think we talked about this last time. So speaking of like first time seeing things, like what was an event that you planned for that you were like, okay, I want to see this, like not you like happened upon, but you're like, nope, I want to be in the right place at the right time and catch it. What was your first like, this is it, I want to see this?
Ooh, so the first time that ever happened, like that I planned something. Oh gosh. Seeing or photographing? Did I miss that part? Sorry.
Good question. I don't think I put that caveat in there. How about the memorable one that you're just like, that was cool.
Yeah. Let's see. totally planned. I can think of a couple things. Maybe the two things that come to mind. One was in 2007, Comet Holmes. There was a small comet that it actually exploded, and it didn't have a tail, but the coma, like the nucleus, like blew up, and the coma like spread out into kind of this bubble, and it was visible, with binoculars. Basically, it wasn't visible to the naked eye. But I remember seeing that in my front yard and planning, because we heard about it in the news. This was before I was like super into, like, I didn't have my telescope yet, and I was like, I got that the next year. But this is one of those events that was like, I totally need to get a telescope. I remember going out a couple nights just to make sure I could see it. So I was pretty planned for that. And I had this cheap little binocular set at the time, and I was like, okay, I did get to see it. It was cool. And the next thing I can think of was in 2012 was my very first space station sighting, which I remember why I had the date in my log, because that was the first time.
That's right. You've got the ISS log.
Yeah. I think it was like October 2012. I could probably actually, have it right here. Let's see. I'm going to be accurate. October 26th, 2012. It was a 5-minute flyby of the space station. And the reason I looked it up was because that was the night I got my first iPhone. Oh. And I went to the AT&T store. I got an iPhone 4S, and I went home with it. And it was my first smartphone. And I, of course, immediately downloaded all the space apps I could think of, because I was like, finally I can get apps. I want to get NASA and everything. And I saw that they had a space station sighting, like, sub program within the app. And I was like, oh, there's going to be one tonight. So I went outside, and there it was. So it was I was looking forward to it. I saw it, and it was the first time I ever like experienced it, because I wanted to go see it, instead of just having it happen by chance. So I think those are my best stories.
That's cool. I was, it wasn't big, but like I was really, like, when I first started, I was like, all I'm going to do is planetary imaging. Like, cause it's like, kind of like you think it's easy, and then you're like, oh, wow, it's actually kind of like difficult. But I loved getting transits on Jupiter. So my favorite thing to get would be the Great Red Spot, and then the shadows casted from the Galilean moons on there. So like, I think I got the Great Red Spot, and then 2 shadows from the Galilean moons transiting. I think that was like one of my favorite. Like, I looked it up in Stellarium, and I'm like, okay, I'm going to be up at like 2:30 in the morning for when this kicks in. And then I'm going to, like, that was really cool. I was just like, it's so cool that these things are so kind of like laid out. And then at the same time, you could just happen upon something cool, because I think there's a picture I have of, is it M33, open star cluster, and a comet, all kind of like in the same frame. And I remember when I took the picture, I was like, I think it was going for the comet, and then I'm like, wait a minute, that's a galaxy. And then when you look at what you have, I reframed it quickly and took another picture, and I'm like, oh man, it's like, and it's just something that will never be in that arrangement again. And it was like, wow, that's so cool.
And you got it.
Yeah. Like, man, every squirrel finds a nut, man. That is proof right there.
Right. Quick tangent here. What's up, Richard Jones? I see you in there. Thanks for tuning in. Good to have you here. Lots of people joining. I also want to shout out Artie Jones in the chat for gifting 5 more Orbital Alliance memberships.
Oh, dang.
It has been every episode since we pushed these that Artie Jones has supported us and helped continue to make the podcast a very living, breathing creature. And you guys, the viewers, get the rewards. So make sure you have gifts enabled on your YouTube account, so you can receive one of the free gifted memberships, and you get all the perks that come with it, like a little star that changes colors for every month you're a member next to your name in the chat. You can get bonus emojis, and you can even get the opportunity to be on the podcast in either a mini interview format, or you get to play a game with me and Tan on a future episode, which I'm actually coordinating right now. I've made it a members only post on YouTube in the community section. So go and check out the Orbital Alliance channel here on YouTube. click the community tab. And if you are a member, you can see that members only post and leave a comment there if you want to be in a future episode. We're trying to get as many of you guys on there as possible so we can give you a chance to do something cool and hang out with us. And we get to know you a little bit better because I mean, we don't see all your faces. You know, you guys are all just hiding there, lurking on the internet. So.
Right. What a cool little benefit. I wouldn't have thought of that. That's a great idea to involve the community and, you know, and if this face can be on you guys, that's easy. just come on and you're already, I set the bar low, so don't worry about it.
Right. Oh my gosh. No, dude. I mean, you've been on the show twice, so you're more than qualified. Yeah.
Oof. Which shows you don't learn from your mistakes, man.
Right. Yeah. I guess I'm the outlier here. Ashley, what's happening? Welcome back. Good to see you. Looking through the chats. Don't want to talk about cold. I know, right?
No.
Oh my gosh.
Not one bit.
Yo, thank you for the super. And
look at this.
And the always required typos. That's the that's the best part. I love it. Thank you. I never found the buttum.
I need AI to generate my comments. That's why I don't write. Just
right.
Yeah, I just go type something funny. Go.
It's so am I actually talking to Chat GP Joe right now?
Yeah, right. This is AI from that movie studio or whatever it is.
Right. Oh man.
The real Joe is currently somewhere playing Xbox.
Right. Yeah. Oh my goodness. Dude, so
yes.
One of the things I wanted to definitely make sure I talk to you about, because the reason you and I know each other is because we met over TikTok.
Yes.
And you and I are both astronomical creators and content, I would say to a degree, influencers in some way on that platform. And we spent years on it. But what's been happening and circulating in the news recently is that the United States government is trying to ban TikTok from existence because they believe it is controlled by a foreign government, the Chinese government, and they see it as a threat, a security threat. So they want to eliminate it. And there's a lot more to that. And I think it's a fine line, I think, before we get like too political or, opinionated, but without getting into that, like zeitgeist.
Right.
This whole thing does severely impact you and I in many ways. So, I mean, where do we begin, right? Like, how do you feel about the possibility of TikTok disappearing?
Well, here's what I'm going to say. TikTok is a very special social app in the way it interacts with us. And I have not found another social media app that puts you in front of an audience that is more receptive to your content. Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
So,
yeah.
YouTube is really good for like long form videos and these podcast type videos, but for here is a live version of the moon, or it doesn't drive the audience to you. You really have to advertise yourself, build an audience, and then that word of mouth will go. Right. I don't know if we can say names of other apps without
YouTube. It's fine. TikTok is the one that was picky. Yeah.
All right. Well, okay. So then that's a positive. But like Twitch is more towards gaming. I heard that there's a new app, but it's called Neptune, but it's still in development and won't be out for a while. I think we were laughing earlier at some videos people were making, and there's a Red Note, which is like the Chinese version that apparently everyone is now moving over to. Right. But again, that's not built for us. And it's so what makes me sad is, hey, Karen, is that ability to connect is going to be disconnected. And I made a video the other day that I wouldn't have met you. I wouldn't have met Tan. A lot of people in the comment section I wouldn't have met.
Right.
I'm not a trained astronomer. I'm just a dude with a telescope who learned how to take pictures from a lot of friends I've met on this app and gotten better. That I'm sad that experience is going to be one, that my journey there kind of comes to a little bit of a halt, and that a lot of people who just were getting out of the gate and feeling motivated, like, oh my gosh, if Godfather Astro can do this, I sure can. And that makes me sad that kind of puts an abrupt end to anyone's career, starting out of the gate there. I know, like, I'm in IT, so I kind of understand the idea of like an app that kind of grabs all your permissions. Like, so in the professional version of me kind of understands a little bit. This version of me kind of just like, okay, every app does that. So it's sad that ability of community is going to get cut off.
Yes.
Yeah,
it's. I agree. I think TikTok did it in a way that I think few other platforms can. And I would say that they've tried to achieve that. And it's likely that others will adapt in a way to kind of cover that space if TikTok does disappear. And I suppose it's worth mentioning that it still may exist. I think the current trajectory is that TikTok will be banned on the 19th, removed from app stores. And yet there is still a window of opportunity for either someone to purchase it and preserve it, or the laws could change. The inauguration is going to happen the next day, and it's possible there could be maybe an executive order put into place that undoes all that. So a lot of the stuff that's kind of being predicted may not happen at all. But
there was no ruling, right? I mean, it's still in theory at the Supreme Court level who could issue an injunction and just basically kick it down to a lower court and say, find out some more details, as opposed to, the big showy hearing that we got.
Right.
Hopefully it's an injunction with the ability to find more time to come up with some sort of deal, whether or not.
Yes.
But
yeah, we'll have to wait and see. And I'm like hesitant to, like, in my head, call it the end necessarily until we actually get there. Cause I just feel like every time anybody said it's the end in years past, cause there have been hearings and, all kinds of political meetings about it. It was always something that kept getting extended or delayed. This one feels the most definitive so far. But at the same time, we're still not through the finish line, and like anything can happen. It's like watching a football game. Someone can score a touchdown to win the game in the final seconds, right? Like, it can change. Like, it's not over till it's over. But it certainly does feel more than any time before like, oh gosh, this could be the end. and this thing that I spent all this time on, not just recreationally, but as a hobby and as a profession. Like, I get paid from TikTok, it's like, that's all going to potentially go into oblivion. And it's a weird thing to think that light switch is going to be turned off,
I know. I keep thinking, and one, it always pushed me to get better equipment, to perfect this hobby. Cause like you said, it kind of turned into a little bit of like, I made some to recoup some of the cost of the equipment. And I'm like, oh man, like a night like tonight, like, oh, it's really cold. Well, the app is kind of going away. So like, where maybe if it wasn't, I would have been like, all right, I'm going to figure it out, layer up, and, power through. Man, so there's that personal growth level that's getting taken away. It's, it's, and just scrolling through, we were talking earlier about some funny trends that have popped up that we were just like, man, that's going to be sad. Like, where is that going to go? Right. Like, where am I going to get to see those funny little trends that are spouting out? But,
dude, there are so many obnoxious creators that I love to death that I am hoping migrate to another platform so I don't have them like leave my life. Like, there are a lot of like really obnoxious people that are bringing me so much joy. And I will legit mourn if they stop making content.
Right, right. Yeah. And then it's just like, now you got to figure out, how do I get all my media down from it? Like, I feel like, remember, I might be aging myself here, but I remember the demise of MySpace.
Yeah,
like,
dude.
And I remember being, very young adult Joe, and going, oh, I gotta acquire all my pictures off of MySpace.
Yeah.
It's funny that it kind of feels like that. Like, it's just like, oh man, all that time. I don't know. Go ahead.
Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No. I was kind of rambling.
Well, first of all, MySpace is hilarious because I was like 15 when I was on MySpace. And I remember my first profile picture was like, literally, I took a selfie with my 3 megapixel Kodak digital camera on my desk in my bedroom. And it was me going, I wish I had that photo somewhere, because if I find it, I will pull it up on a future episode. If MySpace still existed, you'd still find that. My user
I
picture.
wish to God I could log back in. Because I remember MySpace had it where you could play a song. So you would get into someone's profile and a song would start playing, and it was AC/DC, Have a Drink on Me. I know, big surprise. But and then the other
drink?
cool,
tragic.
Not at all. But what I also loved was you had approved comments on your page, so no one could just drop like something goofy on your page. You had to be like, no, I approve that.
Yeah.
So I remember that was very young adult Joe friendly. That was. Yeah. And there was like a collage, I think, of like pictures that would just kind of roll through your feed. Like, yeah.
And top 8 friends. The top 8.
Yes. Oh, and they would be mad if they weren't in that list.
Yes. Especially if you were in high school, people got real fussy real quick.
Oh, you guys are making me feel good that you guys know that app. That makes me smile.
Oh, for sure. Oh, dude, I saw TikTok from Tom today.
Oh, no way.
It was like
he's still doing things?
Yeah, I think let me see if I can find it, because he did a video of him sitting down. He's like, it's me, Tom. It was like text over his video, and it said, yeah, it's me, Tom. I'm still just sitting here in a white t-shirt writing on a piece of paper all these years later. So
somehow I want that to be real. That's awesome.
It's like, oh yeah, here it is. I don't know. This is not going to resolve, but this is it. Here he is.
Oh dang.
But he literally just showed up in my feed. Yeah, and it said, "Hi everyone, Tom from MySpace here. A lot of you have been asking me to come back and save the day. I'd love to, but I'm still just wearing a white t-shirt and taking notes. I have no other skills. Sorry." Which, for those of you who are not familiar with MySpace, kind of like one of the very, very early social media apps ever, where you could have a user profile and connect with friends. You were given one friend automatically. So you never started with 0 friends. You were friends with Tom. And Tom was the creator of MySpace, but his profile picture became infamous. He never changed it. It was just him like smiling and looking at the camera in a white t-shirt, writing something, and that's it. So he became famous for that. And that guy sold MySpace, and the app shut down later. And that was him making the joke, like, what is it, 20 years later now? 19, 20 years later, and he's still looking exactly the same.
I wonder what his friends look like. Can you imagine to be in his top 8? Like,
right. Dude, yeah. I wonder who was in his top 8.
Right. He's the last the last person on MySpace. Like, there. Although I think it never really went out of business. It became like a music centric kind of thing. I don't know.
Yes. But, I think you're right. It was kind of like how Napster got shut down, and then they brought it back as a legitimate, like, now you can purchase licenses and do it legally, but it's still got the same name. But nobody wanted it anyway.
Right. You're like, what do you mean? The whole point was I didn't want to pay.
Right. Dude.
We're making Angie laugh. Yep. Yeah, we're bringing back all the old school apps. There you go.
Well, what's notable about this TikTok thing is, while there have been other social media apps that have come and gone over the years, none of them have been as consequential of a loss as MySpace, in my opinion. TikTok will certainly be, one of the biggest losses to the market because, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, etc. Those are all huge and they've all endured and they've kind of been around for a very long time. Heck, even Twitter's still around, although albeit rebranded. But like, there's a couple that kind of still exist, but they diminished. And I see this comment here, Zanga. That was a huge one. That was like a blogging one that got really popular for a while. I remember like LiveJournal as well. That was a big one. But I think Vine might be the one that I would say maybe came closest. Was
right, and with all the videos, right? Like the and then wasn't there, oh my gosh, I'm trying to remember all the names of like the first, like where you would see those like funny videos, like pre-YouTube.
Yes.
Vines I know was, so it's
Vine was like proto TikTok.
The thing about TikTok is not only was it you just hold the phone and speak your mind from your car, or you make high production videos, or you go live and just walk around, or actually do what we did and actually, entertain / educate / inspire, which was this beautiful amalgamation of creative forces that could land on this app. And then at the same time, it's a marketplace. Like, right, you literally can create, buy, and sell things. Like, I can't tell you how many times I've been TikTok shopped is what I call it. And like, you're like, dang, that jacket looks cool. Okay. You're like, dang it. I mean, I have a 3D printer because of it. Like the Bamboo Labs like printer and E-Bombs World. Yes. Dude, there you go. Yes. Thank you. Oh my gosh. Yes. Oh, bravo.
E-Bombs and Albino Black Sheep. You remember that?
Yeah.
Albino Black Sheep. Gosh, what were some of the other ones?
There are some ones I want to say, but I can't say here. They involved a rating.
Okay.
And there was one called Fugly. Like that, we got in so much trouble in my first job, like my first real IT job. Literally, the whole IT department almost got fired en masse because of that one particular website.
Oh no.
Oh my God. I just remember the VP walking in and we're all crowded around a monitor just laughing hysterically. And it was just almost mass fired right out of the shop. But no.
But in reality, it was your VP just like laughing too.
Yeah. Well, it was a picture of him. So
oh no.
No, I'm just oh my gosh.
Joe, I have a question for you.
Yeah, absolutely.
This is going to be the most random question ever. Would you like to see Tan?
Oh, dare you. I've been discovered.
Surprise. It's me, Tan.
Yes.
There you go. What is going on, man?
What's good? What's good, man?
You thawing out?
I'm trying. I'm working on it. It's cold. It's cold.
Yeah. How was it?
It's cold.
Was it worth seeing Mars do its disappearing act?
It was worth it. Yeah, we had a nice crowd, and its occultations are extremely fun to watch. It was cool.
Oh, dude. Sweet.
This is cool, man. I love it.
Dude, yeah. Okay, so I knew Tan was gonna come in later. I didn't tell Joe. I didn't tell anybody.
Yeah, right. Surprise.
Yeah. So I'm glad you finally made it, dude. Welcome in.
Cool. Awesome. What are we talking about?
We were talking about TikTok and social media platforms that have gone the way of the Western, and kind of where that's at, how that affects us as astro creators.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
So Feel free to chime in with your opinion too, because I mean, you more than us have a heck of a influence. Big pull, and just the most experience with the app too. You've been around the longest.
What are you gonna miss most, or what did you think TikTok did that no other platform did?
I mean, there's so many layers to that question.
Like an onion.
TikTok, I don't know if there will ever be an app like TikTok. At least where it is now, it is by far the most superior app in so many ways. And I think that's why it's under there's so much resistance. And by resistance, I feel like it's just a small group of people, but the community, man, I've just never been able to say I found a community on anywhere else. Like an ogre. Ogres have layers.
Yes.
I don't know what
I
to
like
say
that
to
reference. Yeah. Good Shrek reference.
Funny.
TikTok's cool, man. TikTok's cool.
Yeah. Again, I never seen an app that, you know, you could do long form, you could do create your own videos, you could just aim a phone, sit in a car, you know, eating McDonald's, complaining about potholes.
McDonald's?
And right, yeah, or complain, yeah, about why are they making me use a terminal? I want to speak to a person.
Right.
Not
Are you going to be using the mobile app today? Yeah.
Right. I think we should have Tan's voice be the McDonald's opener for every drive-through.
What the hell do you want today?
And then just have a random other person pop in. Like just like they're like, yeah, well, you know, I'm here to take your order. Who's that son of
Yeah. Nice to see you on here, Joe. You were the first. You were the OG, the first one.
First
right?
one, yeah. I appreciate you guys having me back, and it's good to be. It's like I feel like that one song, "Stuck in the Middle with You."
Yeah, I do.
Joker stood up to me. Like I keep like I don't know where to look now. I'm surrounded by the Galactic
sandwich.
Yo, Elliot, what's up,
What's
brother?
up, everyone?
Yeah.
Also, real quick, shout out to the people on the talk side. If you guys are, I'm trying to pin this, but if you guys are in there on talk right now, I can't really see your messages. We are you guys are watching a stream of a stream. So we are live over on the YT. So if you want to hang out, just go type in the Galactic Window.
The Galactic Sandwich.
Yeah, Galactic Sandwich.
Nice.
It's an Italian sandwich.
Yeah, let me see if I can pin it for you guys.
I'm the mortadella in this sandwich.
Bada boom, bada bing.
Aye.
Here it is.
Wait, Luke, Han, and Chewie.
Dang.
All right, who's Chewie? I told you, plug in the hyperdrive, Chewie.
I don't remember Chewie being Asian.
I don't know. You got the hair for it, man. I'm old. I'm the old disheveled guy, so I gotta be Solo.
Oh my God.
Dude, look how red Nick's face is.
Right.
Man.
That's why he's Luke. He's like the small boy from the world with two sons.
Good times.
Shooting swamp rats.
Oh my gosh. Well, I do have Luke's lightsaber, so
there you go. See,
that qualifies me.
The show writes its. My thing is, in what other app could these hoodlums
All right,
meet?
Doug, sounds good.
Right? Like I don't know what other app or how else the universe, you know, converges that I'm on a screen with you two guys. Like there's, you know, that's what stinks. Like and there's many others of us that that's what bums me out the most.
Right.
We got 6 days left.
The fact that we had a place where we could feel safe enough to trust random people on the internet, really, and to build trust. Like that's hard to do. And all of us, before we actually met in person, because all three of us have met in person before, like several times, at least for me, I've met both of you guys on several different occasions. It's like we spent hours hanging out with each other on TikTok live streams, like literal stacks and heaps of hours. And that actually built a real friendship, but remotely, albeit. But here we are. And now we can all hop in on a little digital window here, like old friends, just because of that. And I've never experienced that in my life before. In fact, I was having grown up in the early digital age, I was told that was like the most dangerous thing you can do. Like my parents, were very like strict about who you're talking to on the internet, and yet now some of my best friends are people who I've met on the internet. It is a very powerful tool. Still dangerous in the wrong places.
Right.
Let's just put
stranger danger.
Put a fat asterisk on that. But
Right.
if done in the right way, you can connect with real people who you actually care about, who have a significant impact on your life. And I'm grateful for it, no matter what happens. And
Right.
yes, we all, the three of us goons can be goons together and do goony things.
Right. That's
I like it.
I think Tan said it best when we had our Astro trip last year, that, you know, not seeing each other physically, but then when we did actually meet, it was just like, I sort of feel like I'm running into old friends, because I know, you know, like, I know you guys. You're that, you know, this is just, oh, you have legs. I think that was the biggest joke I used to make. I'm like, oh, you literally have legs. You're not just this torso floating apparition on a screen. You actually have a physical, you know, present. Like, that was what is made that so that we were, after all that time streaming, it's just like, I know what makes him laugh. I know what makes you laugh. I know, you know, like, and it was just like, oh, that's so cool. It just kept rolling into it.
Yeah. Well, and there's sort of like I don't know about you guys, but like when you meet somebody that you've met online for the first time, there's like a little bit of a celebrity or what's the word? Like
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. There's like
It's like
celebrity bit to it. Go ahead, Tim.
Yeah, it's just like it's just like a little vibe. It's not weird, but it is weird. It's weird, but not in a bad way. It's just like, I don't know. I know what you mean.
Yeah, because you know, these are people that you only met on screen or through audio. So when you see them in 3D with your own oculars, it's like, how do I rationalize this sensation, which is really, really cool. But then it's almost like you get to hang out with celebrities in real life, you know? It's kind of this weird framework. I don't know.
Well, you got to think, we grew up watching TV and listening to the radio, and you thought you had to be this important person to be on the screen. I mean, you're saying the news, you have to be super smart, or you're on the radio, you have to have this, you know, super, you know, charismatic thing. And, you know, so when, you know, like you said, when you meet somebody, like, you're just like, oh, like, they have to be, you know, and then you just realize, no, they're just like me. They, you know, they have a job, or they, you know, they have a whole family. This is just something they do, you know, whether it's more professionally than I might do it, but it's like, oh, wow, this is so cool, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And it always kind of makes me laugh when, you know, my personal life friends or people I know find out about that I've got this audience, and they're just like, you? And almost like you could just see that little idea of like, you're on the TV, you must be important, get crushed, because they're like, but I know you. I think I was telling Tan this once. It's just like, you know, they're like, they can't square the idea of that you have an audience. They're like, wait, what? Like, I don't even want to text you more than 5 times a day. Like, what? Or like, get long in a conversation. Who's listening to you?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I love that. And the ability for people who wouldn't otherwise have, you know, had a talk show. We all have talk shows, right? Like, it's like, I scrolled past a TikTok today that was like, I don't know, it's just like some mom, you know, and she was talking about like her like teenage son's girlfriend or something like that. And it was like, like if I imagine like as a kid going over to a friend's house, and then like that person's mom like making a TikTok about me, like, or posting a video about me on the internet, like that, it just is unfathomable. But it's possible, you know, just anybody can have an audience.
Right.
And that's so cool.
I just think it's the new medium for this time in our kind of like space. It's authentic. You can't fake it really, because you're physically being seen here. I suppose you could fake it, but I mean, it's hard to maintain that fakeness. So like, over time, your real personality starts to show. So I think that is what this medium is so good at. And it's kind of not, you know, you can't really, you know, really grind an agenda. I mean, I guess you can, but even then, it's you got to be real. I think that's what adds this sparkle to what we do. It's just like you can't fake your excitement over a long period of time. So when this occultation came, and it's like you're like, wow, there's Mars disappearing. It's like I think people love being part of somebody who's excited about something they're doing, and it's like I know I am when when I first hopped on and I saw Tan, like that's what drew me to the app. I was just like, oh, like this dude's like super excited about what he's doing, and it's not like he's a scientist. This is just somebody like I want to be that excited about space, so let me get a telescope. And another thing this app was really good at was highlighting people that probably wouldn't have had a chance if it wasn't for that app.
Mm-hmm.
I really like this comment from JC here. There's a few of them, but I'm just gonna pin this. It started with content grabbing our attention, but the people even in chat help grow the communities.
Mm-hmm.
It's like this snowball effect. It's like it's no longer just the host or the content creator, right? It's the community, like everyone working simultaneously. It's like it's just this collective mission to spread whatever it is, whatever hobby it is. And yeah, it's awesome. I think moderators and people who are like if you have a creator that you watch and you also help mod for them, or you just hang out there often, a lot of people, I don't think people realize how important that is. That is literally the glue holding down. Like there's just something about seeing familiar faces, right? So if I go to a house often and I see the same 5 people talking about space, I'm gonna want to get to know them. So exactly, JC, like 100%. It's more than just. It's just this collective, man. It's beautiful, and I don't know what's gonna happen with TikTok. I hope that it doesn't go away, but if it does, we're just going to be doing the same thing on a different app,
Mm-hmm.
Like this isn't just the end. It might be the end of like a really beautiful app, but we'll see.
I have a question for both of you guys, kind of on that. It's going to pull right on the end of Tan's comment there, but like, how do you think the potential of TikTok leaving our lives, what sort of impact do you think that will have on astronomical outreach in general? Because of course that has been a way that all 3 of us have connected with a bunch of random people, probably in numbers we will never know, but many of them who we do know now. So what do we think the direct impact will be on astronomical outreach with this platform potentially gone?
Huge. Astronomical. There are this is a fact. There are certain things that I've done on TikTok that I just know I will never be able to do in real life. And it's not because I'm not confident with myself. It's just I just physically won't have that reach. So like for example, one of my biggest live streams was the lunar eclipse. I don't remember what year, but there was around 11,000 people in there.
Oh my gosh.
It was me showing 11,000 people the lunar eclipse. I just physically won't ever be able to do that. Even if there's 100 people lining up behind a telescope, that is extremely exhausting because you got to get everyone in line. You got to guide them like, oh, you got to look through here. It is just physically impossible. But because
the eclipse
of TikTok,
would end before you could do 11,000 people.
Exactly. So, yeah, man, there's just there's just nothing else like it. Like I won't be able to do that.
Mm-hmm. Well, and with like the way other apps don't feed random people into your live streams like TikTok does, Instagram, heck, even YouTube, as like right now, like we might get the occasional random person from like a For You page push, but like TikTok just pumps people into your by the hundreds, and in your case, the thousands. And that is a gift I think that we are all given that we are potentially going to lose, which is kind of sad. And I hope other apps move in that direction.
Right. Because then you have the opportunity to grab them. Like the problem is if they're never there, you're never heard. So you could be the greatest showman on the planet, but if no one ever hears your words or sees your content, like what's that, you get no push. I mean, to answer the question you asked us, I don't think I would ever get to inspire people to buy a telescope without that app. Like, so that to me is when you watch YouTube videos, it's like, I know specifically the question I want to ask. Like, okay, I want to know how to collimate a Newtonian telescope. And it's going to bring up videos. And then from there, you'll find your creators that you like. But if you're just scrolling through like we do doom scrolling before you go to sleep, and then let's just say, I happen upon, Tan's live stream about, the moon. He's showing the moon. I might go, oh, well, I've never seen this before. And wow, there's like a bunch of people like asking questions or having a good time. And this seems fun. And then, like you say, you become part of that audience. And then the next logical steps are, well, how do I see that personally? Like, oh, so astronomy isn't all about, I got to be in a classroom. I can actually just enjoy the view, and it's binoculars to telescope, that's what I think astronomy as a hobby is going to get hurt by, is that easy step in is going to be kind of like pulled out.
Right.
I like this comment here. We've tasted the fruits of the tree. Now we're going to crave it. Collectively, we'll find a way to get the connection back.
Yes.
I think it's that connection, dude. As much as social media can be toxic, if you, just like with anything else, like if you use it too much, you can start to kind of derail yourself and maybe disassociate for a little bit. But at the same time, man, I think I would argue that people have gotten closer or found some sort of connection through TikTok, especially during the pandemic. Some of my like earliest memories of really being hooked on the app, like actually like actively scrolling and just staying up way too late and looking at videos when I shouldn't be. Dude, it was a crazy time, from 2020 and gone like till now. But I found that actual like emotional connection through that app. And
emotional connection. Sorry.
It's pretty good.
It's going to be emotional damage after the 19th.
Yeah.
Let's switch this up here. Get bigger views.
What random? How there's always like Astro Talk, and what random thing was like you're gonna miss? Like, so for me, it was like something called Hoof Talk. I don't know why, but I got all in on farmers grooming horses.
Yes. Dude, it's so satisfying.
Oh my God, I can watch 1,000 disgusting sores get removed from cows, sheep, horses. Dude. Oh my God. And where am I going to get my Hoof Talk Jones from? Like that's kind of like one of those random, like a song you don't want everyone to know about, but the fact that you guys all lit up means I feel so much better about that hidden passion of mine.
Oh, you are so validated, my friend.
Oh,
when there's that tiny little pebble that's stuck in there, and he carves around it and he like plucks it out.
Oh, yeah.
You can just feel the relief on the horse.
I was like rooting for those horses. Yeah. So I mean, like, do you guys? Obviously, I guess we all stumbled on Hoof Talk, but was there any random other weird thing that you'd be like, there'd be no way I'd be interested in this?
Sheep Talk.
I have not made it to Sheep Talk yet.
Similarly, sheep shearing is equally as satisfying as hoof trimming, because you could see these overgrown sheep that were like have these like giant mountains of wool on them, and then they just get these big clippers and they just go and they get it off, and they just like garbage bag full of like nasty wool, and they like throw it on, and then you see this like sheared naked sheep that's just like
Nick is the only fan base.
Right. There's one guy on Sheep Talk, and it's Nick. He's like, I subbed to all those guys in Scotland.
Well, and
he's making it rain on Sheep Talk.
That's the thing, though, is there's like more of it was I got into like Scottish cattle dogs, like sheep dogs, like herding sheep, and I learned so much about what it takes to have a successful like pack of dogs that can herd sheep, and I learned about all the commands. And there was a particular guy that I loved so much, a creator who had that, and he had several dogs. They were great, but it made me want to go out to Scotland, hit up some of those sheep farms. So sheep talk. I mean, I would say
Sheep
that.
talk.
Love it.
I'm looking at that tonight.
I'm gonna pin this here. I love this hamster raves.
Yeah.
Is that the hamsters that run around on the
Yeah,
circle? Yeah, I'm in on that too.
Or the shrimp. Those are good. I enjoy the comment section. And I know you can find comic sections on anywhere else, like the YouTube videos or other social media. But for me, it's the comment sections on TikTok, especially whenever you're going down the list and you're like, all right, everyone's in on this. I love it. It just makes the video just a million times better.
There is a unique level of creativity on TikTok comments that it certainly does not exist on other platforms. I think YouTube is kind of there, but like I don't know what it is. The people just get it on TikTok, and they all have this. It's like a synergy, and it's like we're all in it together. Other platforms, it feels like people are kind of like, we're in different fields. I might comment this, but this next person's going to go a totally different route with it. TikTok, it's like one lane, and it is always satisfying.
It is like an art form. They've got it dialed in, and I will admit something that I almost find more pleasure if I leave a comment on a video and it blows up with likes as opposed to one of my videos blowing up with likes. Like to me, something like, oh, I'm that witty guy on that video. I made that comment.
You're the top comment,
right? If you're like the top comment, you're like, this is such a win for me right now. This is like...
Have you guys had comments that like just accumulate likes in perpetuity? From like, I've had a couple that have like been the top comments on videos where like from like 2 years ago, I still get almost daily notifications because people liking that comment, which is nuts. There's a couple of them. One of them was on a video of Star Wars Galaxy's Edge, the Star Wars park at Disney World. Someone made a video where they sassed back at Kylo Ren walking around in the park. And I left a comment on that. I still almost daily get a notification from somebody interacting with that. The other one was from comedian Morgan J. I love him. He's a great creator. I commented on one of his videos a couple months ago, and I think almost daily I see likes from that. I think last time I checked, it was like 15,000 likes, just like on the top.
Oh my God, that's a lot.
That is fantastic.
But like, yeah, there's. Do you guys have anything like that? Did any comments soar for you?
Not that crazy.
I put not to 15,000, but there's a comment on a Warhammer. I'm really I like Warhammer. And there was some comment I made about one of the chapters in there, and that blew up for some reason. And I was just like, God, I love that. It was just like, it was kind of innocuous. It wasn't even witty. It was just kind of just like, oh, okay, like I appreciated something. Just like 6 months later, like you said, you're like, how did that get 10 more likes? That like.
I want to bring Karen up here. I love the castle tours. That's got to be a cool side of TikTok. I don't think I've seen those.
There's a British lady who walks around London and does the tours, and that's kind of cool. But to slide in a new obsession, you guys need to be on Chinese pottery talk, where they put it in a kiln, and they break it out, and then the success rate is like 5%. So they could go an hour cracking open these little pots to make these little teacups. And they've got this, oh my God, there's like, I don't want to do the accent because then Tan will be mad at me.
You get a pass, bro. Go ahead.
Right. They're like, wait. And they crack it open. They're like, lucky cup. It's great. It's just, that's my new obsession is like pottery talk. Like I want to get one of them because they're so random. Like I don't know how they make them, and they never answer any questions. You're just like, well, how does it work? And they're like, we talk later. Don't buy this cup.
Dude, Joe, I think it was last week on the podcast, we were talking about the International Space Station, and we were talking about different languages as well. Like, I don't know why French came up in the conversation, and Tan asked me if I knew how to say International Space Station in French. And I said, no, but I know how to say it in German. So I did. And then Tan goes, I think I know how to say it in Vietnamese. And then Tan said,
International Space Station. Dude, Astro Hillbilly recorded that and made it into a video.
What? Oh, that's
Yes.
priceless.
It's
Are you
so
serious?
funny.
It's so good.
It's the greatest thing I've watched all year.
God. 3D printing is my new Roman
Is that on
Empire.
TikTok?
Still doing Astro Cars. That's awesome.
Nice.
what's up, George?
Welcome in. Foxy Roxy.
Yeah.
You made it. You made it.
Gosh, I'm gonna miss all
Where they paint those
those
spinning
those
tumbler
things. I'm gonna miss sending people stuff like random things. Like, dude, you gotta check this out. Like,
Dude.
it's a talking dog.
Dude, I'm gonna miss sending silent reposts.
Yes.
I'm gonna send this to maybe 2 people, and also be careful not to post it on my public profile because I'm getting canceled if anyone else sees this.
How many silent nightmares did you go? Did I just hit repost? Like,
Yeah.
yeah, did I just silently hit? No, that was supposed to go to a specific person.
Oh, man.
I do like when you randomly run into one of you guys, your comments. I didn't see your Star Wars comment, but like you'll go like, wait, that's someone. Wait, like that's
I know that person.
I know that person.
Oh,
I
totally.
didn't know you were on Sheep Talk.
I brought this up, I think, before one time on a previous episode, but I'm hoping that Titanic fan 97 surfaces somewhere else. That's the guy who collects Titanic on VHS.
Oh, the movies. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, he's got like 3,700 copies of VHS's dual
Damn.
cassette set.
That is such a
box sets.
random thing.
I know.
The use of free will is insane.
I know.
What a weird, like, I know, like, yeah, I mean, I'm sure there's 1,000 things I do that are, everyone would consider weird, but what a specific, it's VHS tapes, right? It's not even like CDs. It's got to be the old school VHS tape.
Oh, he's actually put people send him copies, so they'll go to like thrift stores and find them and then mail them to him. He does like box openings, but the character he created for himself is sort of this like super fan who just hardcore is like psychotically like raves about Titanic on VHS. So when people send him DVDs, he destroys them pretty much. He's like, what's this garbage? Like, I just want VHS. And like,
Nice.
I've seen him put the DVDs in like a waffle maker. And like, he's hammered them to break the DVDs because he thinks it's trash. He's like, let's watch this movie the way it was meant to be viewed on VHS.
With the tracking errors.
Yes.
Like,
He's got like a stack of CRT TVs with VHS players in them, so he can just roll it on
that's
loop
awesome
all the time.
He needs to pair with the guy who does I think it's called Red Ball Express, where they heat up the ball to 3,000 degrees and it's a glowing red ball, and they place it on things just to see if it burns through. We need to see Titanic DVDs destroyed that way.
Wasn't the Red Ball Express a World War II thing?
Yes, that was a supply convoy that kind of ran in Europe, but
yeah, right, across Europe. I was like, why is that ringing?
There's Joe's other secret.
Yeah.
I'm stupid into.
No, this is good. I like this. I'm glad we discovered this. But we got to spare everybody else's sanity. That'll be like a private chat. We'll start another channel just about World War II. What's up, Stonehill? How's it going? Welcome.
Hey, Stonehill.
Useless Farm. Yeah, I know her. She's cool. There's so many creators on TikTok.
It really is.
There are
a special place.
Yeah, think of how many people like got really got really tired of their job and took a leap of faith and started trying this thing called content creating. Mm-hmm. And maybe they found something they truly enjoyed doing and found out that people enjoyed watching them as well.
Right.
I just think it's so much more than just a social media app.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like I didn't really understand this until just like this past week, whenever it's becoming more and more real. Like after I listened to the hearing, I was like, oh man, like I think, they've been talking about this for a while, but I think it's actually happening. And there's also people who don't understand it. You almost have to use the app to truly understand it. It's like to an outsider, if they're confused on why people like me are like so bummed about it. It's someone who's never used the app. They just simply won't understand because it's just a social media app. But if you use this app for your business, if you use this to grow your brand, if you use this for some kind of like personal connection, it almost checks all the boxes, man. There's just so much. I mean, a lot of people will say they use this for like news, like hacks. I've learned so much on TikTok, more than I ever had in any kind of like school.
Right.
It's pretty wild.
Oh, it's funny because you're watching lawmakers who aren't on the app or only used it because somebody said this is how you get elected, and then talk about it in this way, and you're just like, oh, show me how I know you've never used the app, or you have some staffer told you what to say, and you're this, it's just like, how are you deciding anything? It's just like someone has to come and explain Wi-Fi to you, and just like, oh, you're really going to make a decision, an informed decision on a social media app that's, like you said, kind of like very unique to this space.
Right. What I've been thinking about is how this app, more than any other, has not only dominated the landscape, but transformed it, kind of almost glacier-like, where the landscape came out different as after the glacier kind of came through. Like it was this epic scale thing and influenced the landscape so much that other platforms wouldn't survive if they didn't adapt to become more like TikTok. Instagram didn't do anything to become more like YouTube, and vice versa.
Trash.
But like, yeah.
Seriously, IG is dog water, dude.
Right. Yeah, I know. It's also lower on my list as well. I've never really been too big.
Right.
Of a fan,
I mean, and you shouldn't hold back, Dan. I really think you should say how you feel.
But like,
look at terrible app.
But look at the way that every other platform, Facebook, Instagram, X, YouTube, they've all adopted short form, all of them, and they've optimized their platforms to mirror and compete directly with TikTok, and that has to be said. It has to count for something in TikTok's favor. And I'm curious to see what they'll do if this influence disappears. How are they going to innovate without someone else to copy? Will they rise to the occasion, or will they just degenerate over time and do the same thing but worse? I don't know.
Yeah, I heard somebody say that all their short form is just basically people's TikTok videos that get imported into their platform. So it's not even their content. It's just reposts of TikTok videos that people have made. So
yeah, like 3 weeks later.
Right. It's just it's I noticed today Facebook has the notes thing that TikTok has now. Like that like, the little, like, I was just like, oh, they stole the notes idea. Like, it's you're right, they're not innovating, they're copying, and it's a poor imitation. And
yeah,
real quick,
okay,
I am so sorry. I noticed there's a good chunk of people still over on the TikTok side. If you guys don't know this, that we are streaming on a different platform. So if you are chatting with me or trying to get my attention on TikTok, I just won't be able to see your comments. We haven't figured out how to multi-stream yet. So if you are typing and stuff, just know that we are live on the other platform. So if you do want to hang out with us in the chat, if you want to say hi, come over to YouTube. Yes, I'm just gonna say, I don't care. I'm gonna just come over to YouTube. So
what do you got to lose? What are they gonna do? Like shut down the app?
Yeah. So just letting you guys know, I see some of y'all in there. I just can't really like engage with you guys, but I appreciate you guys watching.
Here's a hypothetical question for both of you. I guess for all of us, really, because I don't have an answer. But let's fast forward 10 years from now, 2035. What social media apps do you guys think will still exist in 10 years?
Ooh.
YouTube.
Yeah,
YouTube is going to be king, I think.
That's too. And there's been so many companies trying to swipe at it, and they just
stiff arm, dude.
Yeah, they're just
Stonewall Jackson.
Yep. There's. And what's funny is YouTube has become so progressively restrictive in terms of like I haven't been I'm not a big creator on there, but like I pay for their premium service because I hate commercials but it's like, any video that's got any kind of hint of something I don't even want to say it because we're on that channel, but like they will demonetize. When I remember, because I missed like when YouTube used to be a little more Wild West, so you could just see
JC.
It's what's that? Like the window app. There you go. You got to open your own streaming company.
We might.
I think you're going to have things that literally will just be your glasses. You tap a button, your view becomes POV, and it'll literally be watch me as I go about my day. It'll be like, remember that show Big Brother, where all the cameras were in there and you couldn't get away from it? It'll literally be pay me $25 and you can virtually live my life, like every aspect of it. Like, I think that's what 10 years from now is, that somebody will literally be like, I'm going to plug into a machine and let Tan take the wheel. We're going to live Tan Day today and then go to Nick Day. You know how
you can like watch analytics on a video where they show like watch duration and it spikes, it's like a line graph, and you can see when people turn off your videos the most, when the viewership declines. If that's the case, there's going to be a steep decline very quickly after I go to Taco Bell. People are not going to.
What? You got to power those new spaceships, dude. Yeah. Taco Bell is going to be like the food source or like the fuel source.
Tan, we were talking about flatulence propelled rockets earlier in the stream.
Go on.
Yeah. So it's going to be the fastest way to get to Mars.
Oh, man.
And it's going to be sponsored to you by Taco Bell.
Right. Yeah.
It won't be make a run for the border. It'll be make a run for Mars.
Yes. Yeah. I did have Taco Bell for lunch today, for the record.
Ooh, what'd you get?
The used cheesy gordita crunch, chicken quesadilla, Mountain Dew.
Have you gotten their fries yet? I think the fries are back, right?
Good question. I never look at the menu because I just order the same thing every time.
Dude, I went to McDonald's recently within the past week and tried getting a McRib. And they're out, dude.
No.
They're out.
That ship sailed?
You got to jump on that window day one, man.
Dude, there are some things I feel like I take for granted in life. TikTok is probably up there. But McRibs, I wish I would have eaten at least two more before it went away.
You gotta wait till next year,
man.
I only had one. It's probably a good thing, but I did only have one this season.
No, I think I think 3. I've limited myself to 3. I try and space it out, but people at work laugh at me like, nope.
Wait, hold on.
You're taking everything from us.
365 days in Germany.
Excuse me? You know what we need to do?
We need to...
I know what I need to do.
Right.
Wir gehen Sie am Deutschland für die McRibs.
I feel like there were 2 pinnacle moments in history where we should have said we're the ones who should have the McRib 3s.
That's right.
Like, wait a minute, what? Das McRib.
I haven't figured out how to tag people in comments. I think you can only do it on PC. So, like, if I'm on my computer now, if I just type in the @ symbol and I type in kills,
intestinal damage,
and test it.
That was good.
Said that.
That was good.
10 out of 10.
Comment section is an art form.
Yep.
Like that is just a chef's kiss comment right there.
You know what I am looking forward to is when I'm an old man and talking to my grandkids. They're like, "Grandpa, do you remember TikTok?" You're like, "Hold on, I just broke my hip."
Sit down, son. I got a few stories to tell you.
Yeah, right.
We had to aim a phone at ourselves.
Now, let me tell you about Mike O'Hearn. Little
A
Timmy.
galaxy, Galaxy, please.
Right. We're at a beg for gifts.
Thank you for the rose. Dude, honestly though, all jokes aside, I feel like once TikTok goes away, it's gonna be quiet.
Mm.
People are gonna have to touch grass for once in their life, including us.
Uh-huh.
And I don't know, that could be a good thing, but it's gonna I feel like it's gonna be quiet, man. Or people are gonna flood to like other apps, and there's gonna be an influx of all these other developers trying to recreate TikTok, right? And everyone's just gonna be hopping around until they find the one, and I don't know, man.
Did you hear all the people going to Red Note?
I've heard.
And because it's a based in China app with just mostly a Chinese audience, they're all making fun of the TikTok transplants, and like there's a lady who's just translating all the comments. Just so you Americans know, this is what they're saying. It's priceless. It's like they're just, it's like, again, their comment section rules like ours does. Like they don't miss a minute of that, and it's it's I almost want to make one just to get ripped on by somebody, in some Chinese city, just to be like, oh yeah,
yeah, they're just as unserious as we are.
That's the other thing. What a like we're
Oh my
like,
god,
what is
Jesus, George, that's wild. What do you say to that?
George commented.
Are you okay, bro?
For those listening in on audio, my kid asked me how old I am. I told her 41, and without skipping a beat, she replies, "Jurassic period," painting her nails. Oh, that's good.
Is too funny.
Man, that is
they're calling us TikTok refugees.
Yeah, no, it's great. Like
the internet is so funny, dude.
Is this gonna be like
undefeated, man?
But to bring back the Titanic references, how many of us can fit on that door? Right. Ooh.
I'll tell you one thing: I ain't going without a fight.
Right.
Rose, you're gonna have to spend some time in that water.
Applied for ARP, dude. That's so funny, bro.
Oh man.
Joe, you were talking. Continue, please.
Oh, I was just gonna say another thing is the ability to engage with people from all over the world, thus bringing more of an understanding for cultures outside of your own, and just be like, I mean, how many people did we meet from England? Like reading off the comment section, I used to love going, that's a country that's never been here before. Like, Trinidad and Tobago, like, oh man, like how's the weather there? Is that crazy? Like, so again, you're not going to, TikTok was very good, unique at bringing that world experience over.
Dude, I loved that. That was one of my favorite things, was calling out countries like Australia, Iraq, South Africa, Germany. It's daytime for you in India, but it's nighttime for us here in America. Where it was the spread was literally global, and the power that we felt like we had. Like we're just standing in our driveway, and we're talking to these people all at the same time.
It's incredible.
Would never be able to do that as a kid,
Right. No,
this is kind of random, but like I really enjoy some people's usernames. There are people who have a serious username, and there's others who are just like, I don't really care about this app, so I'm gonna make this like the most diabolical username. And then you'll be going down the list like, yo, what's up, Joe? Blah, blah. And then you'll get to that, and then you're like, hey, and then you'll just almost say it, and you can't. Like, hey, D word, like welcome in. Like you won't be able to say his name, but
like D word like 42069, something like that.
Exactly. Yeah. I appreciate that so much. They won't have a profile picture and they won't have a bio. But they'll have a hell of a username.
Right.
You're right. It took you're like your brain is literally screaming, pull the brakes, shut your mouth.
Yeah. No app out there has cultivated community like TikTok has. I think that's just got to be like the pinnacle. If you were to, and let me know in the chat too, guys, like if you could just choose one thing that TikTok stands out from the rest, what would it be? I think it would just be this right here, the community aspect of it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Celestial, welcome in.
Goodness. I mean, this might be I'm just repeating myself, but literally, I loved the global reach we just talked about. I'm just going to reiterate it because it just was so powerful, and I love like that idea of unity in the human species, which literally is at the root of my channel name, the Orbital Alliance. It's all that. It's like it roots in the orbital perspective, being able to change the world because there are no borders. Using space as a way to unite everybody. I always wanted everyone to feel like they had access to space, no matter what your country of origin was, what your financial status was, your race, anything. Like, I don't care about any of that. Like, we all should have access to that. And this was a chance to do it. And just a few short years ago, I always thought about doing some kind of a content channel. And, I just thought, oh, well, maybe a couple of my friends will watch it. But then again, seeing people from, who knows where around the world looking at the moon from my front yard was a dream realized and, so far beyond. So I feel like just having that global reach, like I did this isn't necessarily exclusive to TikTok, but maybe just kind of to note that concept. Like I did a giveaway once, and the winner of the contest was in India, so I ended up DMing with someone in India, and I sent them a space shuttle Lego.
Dude, that's
the
sick.
prize, and
That's awesome.
got to connect with them. I hand wrote a note in the box, and I shipped it, and it was just I tried to connect the dots there. I was like, I'm so excited for what India is doing for the space flight world. Like, ISRO is doing amazing things. Like, cheers from your friend in the US. Like, the internet's a powerful place. It's insane, and it felt like I had half a chance at achieving what my channel name meant. So that's my answer.
It's beautiful. Well said.
Mhm.
I'm gonna highlight this real quick.
Dude, that's
Oh.
awesome.
We made it. 30 people
Hey.
watching. We got
The
27
Cinco's.
over on TikTok. So do the math. That's a lot.
That's a lot.
What platform? Taz, guys, if you're over on TikTok, I literally have it pinned it right here. Please just go on YouTube and
Yeah,
type in
hop on over.
the Galactic Window. It's pinned. It's pinned.
That's
Thanks so much,
awesome.
Dan. Appreciate it,
Yep.
brother.
Also, thank you to everyone who's watching.
Yeah.
You guys are freaking awesome. We love talking about space, astronomy, whatever.
Yep.
You guys are
Right.
freaking awesome.
Joe, did you have an answer to Tan's question?
Oh shoot, I was giddy about reading the comments. Can we repeat?
No
Sorry.
worries. Yeah. Tan, you asked,
Yeah.
go ahead.
If you could just kind of pull apart TikTok and say what is that one thing that stands out, from the rest? What would it be? And I said it was just community, because there isn't. I just feel like I haven't seen that anywhere else.
I one that I agree wholeheartedly with that, but just to put a
This is
different
so
answer
funny.
is creativity. Yes, and thank you to our assigns. I always liked being creative, but I never had a good outlet for it. And TikTok gave me that ability, right? It gave me a voice, so to speak, right? And I got to choose how to use that voice on the app. So, I mean, just talking about all the different people we admire or thought were really funny. Again, there is no app that will let you go, I'm good live, right? Maybe I'm not good in long form or creating an actual video, but I'm good on live. So that gives you an opportunity. I like making 30-second clips or talking about movies. That gave you that creativity, that voice. So that would be my answer.
I love that.
Beautiful.
Well said. Yeah.
I love how all three of us, if you were to go back in time and look at our feeds on TikTok and look at our earlier videos and compare them to our most recent videos, just how different we are over time and how we've evolved as creators and as even just as humans, it's our personality that changes. Our confidence, our ability to communicate, our ability to discern information and rebroadcast it. Because, we, of course, are broadcasting celestial events, which are sometimes unique or timely to a specific moment. And, we have to be able to relay that information to people accurately and well. Like the ability to do that, that's not something you can just pick up and do. There's so many people who would love to do it, but they just don't have the experience, and it takes time to put that in. So I think all three of us have kind of come a long way, just by being consistent and delivering over several years, and that's super cool. So well done, you guys. We're all better because of TikTok.
I love that. You made me think of something,
Hmm.
and I think it's one of those things I didn't realize until just now, but everything that I've posted in the past 5 years serves as a timeline for my own growth. You're right, because I've been trying to download a lot of the videos so I can repurpose it. And I'm going through some of these videos and I'm like, oh, this was in March. This was in June. This was in whatever. And it's literally like your own photo album, but with like content. It's just a nice way to kind of like relive some of your life.
Yeah.
It literally is just a timeline of everything that you've done. Because I don't really I don't really share my life. I don't use Facebook anymore or any of the other apps. So I don't have like an archive that I can go back, except for some like selfies I have on my phone or whatever, right? But if I go on TikTok, I can literally see like, oh, I saw Jupiter and Saturn this year, this month. It's a beautiful thing to be able to go back and revisit.
I wish and maybe they will, maybe have a function added before they if it does get shut down, not just removed from the app stores, but actually service stops getting provided and you can't access the app, that they would give a very clear function to be able to download your backlog and your archive with like a one download all button or something, or some way to archive or have access to it.
There kind of is.
Okay.
I've just sent in a request. I didn't see anything. I didn't see an option to download just like the videos, but you can download anything as like from your messages, the search history, to just like literally anything else that you use that can be put into like text form. But if any of you guys know if there's a single button that you can just download your videos, let me know, because I just have so many and it's super tedious just to go through each one and hit download.
Right.
I know Facebook had that, because I think like many years ago I canceled my original Facebook and it was a download all, but it was mostly pictures at that point. You weren't really doing videos. Tan, you said something that kind of made me think about something. Has TikTok really removed you almost from other medias? Like I don't use any other medias. I used to really be big in IG for a different hobby, and I used to post a lot more in Facebook. But man, as soon as I started TikTok, I kind of stopped all those things. Have you guys had that same similar experience?
100%. I completely stopped using any other social media app. TikTok is the only social media app that I use. Other than this on YouTube, like I have an IG account. And I saw that Alex posted something. He said, I'm going to post my first photo in 3 years. I have a IG account that is pretty much dead. I use it for just communicating. It just serves as another like inbox for me. But my last post on IG was probably a year ago or maybe 2 years ago. I don't remember. So yeah, I don't use anything else.
Yeah, I think it kind of depends, at least for content creators, like how much of it is your business and how much of it is kind of hobby or social. Some creators are like really good at leveraging multiple platforms, and others specialize, and neither one is wrong. I'm much more of a focus than a spread. I feel like I like focusing my attention to one more than like just spraying everything on all platforms. And some people, maybe are fortunate enough to receive success from that, but yeah, I definitely found it the hardest to gain traction on IG. they certainly were not friendly to still photo posts.
Yeah.
So you have to post reels or you're gonna die.
Well, that's funny because when I was doing my fishing channel, it was all just still photos, and
Really?
not that it ever got super big, but
Hmm.
but that was like there was a period of time like from like 2010 to 2006 where just fishing videos was like the jam for some reason. Everybody was doing it. It's so funny to see the trends come and go.
Yeah.
Like, it's
This is so funny, dude, because I just have to read it. One fun thing about TikTok was scrolling and getting random things you didn't know would interest you. Like, who knew throwing sliced cheese on babies would make them stop crying? I love those videos of people just slapping cheese on a baby. Seriously, there's been so many just random videos. Sometimes they're so random. Like, I think this person may be the first person ever, like, on the planet to have thought of this and to record themselves doing it. 100%, dude. That's super funny.
And those are going to be the videos that the aliens find first.
right.
Like, this must be a regular custom to throw moldy, degraded milk at their infant faces.
That explains their demise. Look at their child rearing habits.
Yeah.
I want to pin another comment here. We're gonna go back for a second. They made growing organically incredibly difficult.
Yes.
I think every social media platform will have this problem too. Like, even now on Talk, like, I have my highs where people will see myself, and then I have my lows. But it seems like on the other platforms, the IG, the Meta, or whatever, I struggled really hard. And I saw your follow-up comment. Either that or my video sucked. It's something I'm willing to accept. It's hard to say, man. There's I feel like we talk about this a lot, but the whole algorithm thing, it is just a game, dude. Some games are just more fun on different platforms like TikTok. I will say the games are more fun here because when you kind of figure it out, you can enjoy the dopamine, you can enjoy the high, but then whenever you're on the downtrend, you kind of know that this is part of it. It's no longer your time to shine. It's your boy's turn. Like, on other social media apps, it seems like it's way worse. It's almost like you don't even get a chance unless you use like a certain silly soundbite. But where I'm alluding to is growing organically is difficult no matter what platform you exist on. However, on TikTok, in my experience, I've just found that it's a lot easier because your videos do get pushed out. Like, I streamed on IG one time, and I think I had 3 people in there. And I know that may be the case for some people on TikTok, but if you put in the work, if you post videos, like, the people will come. So I hope that helps.
That's a really good analysis. And I don't think I'm trying to collect my thought here because everything you just said just made perfect sense. But it's that organic, that word organic. Like, what does that actually mean? Because I would think, natural. They give you
No GMOs.
No GMOs.
No GMO content.
Yeah, right. Gluten-free, MSG-free, non-GMO.
MSG-free shorts.
Yeah, yeah. But it's like when you think, what is natural growth? And I think it's you could also interpret that as natural opportunity. And TikTok just gave people more chances to roll the dice, and more of the sides on the die were 6s or 20s, whatever game you prefer playing, whatever the highest number on the dice was. Whereas like the other apps, sometimes it feels like most of the sides on the die are 1s, like you're just like fighting to swim up a waterfall. So hopefully over time, these platforms will learn to even out the die so that every side is a successful roll to some degree. And I think that's what people have been begging for. And I think you said, Tan, like every platform suffers from that. And I think that's true. And no platform is perfect or will dominate 100%. It will be some distribution of it. But I just hope that they all sort of figure out that most people want to have a shot at that. TikTok did it best, and if it disappears, hopefully they learn, take some notes, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And I think TikTok rewarded you for just being on the app and being, you know, making stuff. So it wasn't like, oh, I've made 100 videos and I'm getting, 80 views on TikTok. I felt like, okay, when I started kind of slow, it sort of still was a ball going sort of downhill that like, I know I haven't been on in a month, so things are going to be kind of quiet for the 1 or 2 live streams. And then all of a sudden it just, oh, okay, you're back on. So here you go. Now you're getting pushed out to a bunch of people and you've got like, 3 minutes or, I forget what time limit they gave you. They're like, okay, you're going to get pushed out, but then you have to hold the audience. Mm-hmm. And, that's all I'm asking for. Give me a shot and I'll let my talent shine or my, and then I can hopefully keep people there.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
No other app I saw do that. Like they're almost pushing you to pay, like pay for the push. And then you still have to hold the audience. You're only going to get, so that kind of stinks.
Yeah.
Yeah. Pay to win is like the worst strategy in the world. No one wants to play that.
Yeah. I do want to add just one more thing. I feel like with the years coming, this problem that we're talking about now is just going to be a lot more prevalent. It's going to be more common too, because if you think about it, there is only so much real estate for entertainment. I mean, think about cable now. People don't even watch TV anymore. People like watching live streams. And what I'm trying to say is everyone is eventually going to want to be a content creator. And there is just simply not enough time for everyone, even the entire world, I think, to be able to consume this amount of data for. So they do have to, like, I understand the algorithms. They have to make some kind of filter to say what is worth watching. Unfortunately, sometimes your content that you put your blood and sweat into will get filtered out, and it can be discouraging. But I say, if with that mindset, knowing that that's a thing, you just keep on doing it, and eventually the people who find it will go to you. And if they don't, then maybe you do actually need to work on your content. So you don't take it as a negative thing. Don't take it as, oh man, like they don't like me. Well, maybe you just need to try something else. Maybe like, peeling eggshells isn't your thing, or whatever it is.
I forgot about those TikToks. People just picking eggs clean and try not to break the like lining on the inside.
Thousands of people watching that, dude. Thousands.
Wow.
Yeah.
Tan, you got someone saying hi?
Dat Goral.
It's Be the Wallflower.
Oh, welcome. Did you come over from the talk? Happy to have you. Everyone who came over from talk, thank you guys so much. If you're currently over there now, also thank you for watching. I just won't be able to see your comments, but please come hang out with us. We stream this every Monday night at 9 p.m. Central. So let's just hypothetically say that in a few days, your app goes away. You can still find me every single week. Like, I'll be here. So that part won't change.
Right. I guess that'd be my question to you guys too. And I'd love to share mine as well. But say this all goes through and we're not able to post to TikTok as soon as next Monday. Where can we find all of us? Where can the people who are watching us right now, or people who follow us and support us, like where can we find you most likely?
I don't know. I might take the opportunity to kind of work on my craft on astrophotography for a bit and figure out where I want to go, next steps. Because I don't feel there's a way to reproduce the live magic on another app yet. And I don't want to hop on YouTube or on IG or on Twitch. Like, I'm kind of thinking about Twitch and then just get burned out because it's 2 people or 3 people and it's nobody I remember or know, and we're all scattered now. So like that, I'm trying not to fall into that trap. So I think what I might do is just go, I'm really going to focus in on astrophotography and try and figure out what's new me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I like that.
some exploratory time.
I like that a lot. I'm gonna focus my energy on here. I really like it over here. I still am just kind of I feel like I'm at the embryo stage still, even though we're at episode 33 now. There's so much to learn. So I really want to explore how it is over here on YouTube. And I also made a Twitch account.
Hey, nice.
And yeah, I'm gonna explore that. It's exciting. But I would say those two are like my main apps. And just a quick message to you all that are listening. I've been saying this a lot in my other live streams, but if you guys watch other creators, if you have people that you genuinely like to watch and you follow them, make sure you find their socials too, because I would hate for you guys to lose touch with people like that. So this is just a message for you guys. Here's a call to action. Go click on whoever creator you guys like and look at their socials. There's a good chance that they have other links provided so you can find them as well.
Dude, I was just looking up. We can actually multicast to Twitch from StreamYard, so we could actually talk about pushing to that platform as well.
Come find me, guys. Don't leave me alone.
Tan, you would do great on Twitch with your gaming.
That's it. I'm giving up Astro, and I'm going to be a professional gamer.
Nice. You're going to be a full-time sweat.
Yeah. Die! Yeah, I'm in.
I would say for me, it's definitely going to be this platform, the old YT. I think that's where I've been focusing on the podcast mostly. That's going to be where I'm going to be living. I've always had a special place for it. You know, I have my original account is from 2006, so I've lived on this platform more than anywhere else, and it does feel like a home. So that's probably where you guys can find me most commonly. I think I'll dabble in others, but if you're looking to connect with the Orbital Alliance, this is where I'll be every Monday night at 9 p.m. Cool. But yeah, that's how I feel about it.
Nice.
It's a stable place to be.
Yeah.
Right.
And
you know what you get here. Like, there's no surprises, and it's not going to go away. Like, I think that is now going to give me PSTD, so to speak, of like, you know, of like, oh my God, do I pour all this work into it and then it goes away randomly because of some weird, like rule that I would have never anticipated 2 years ago. Like,
yeah. Sorry. Oh man. Man. I've realized I found myself experiencing almost like a grief. Are you guys experiencing like a grieving process beginning? There's like a sadness. Like we've talked about a lot of the symptoms, losing community, losing friends and stuff like that. But like, there is so much that like I rely on from TikTok that is going to disappear. That like, it's almost like getting your your leg like swept out from under you. And yeah, sad, I feel like I'm going to be, I'm actually going to be sad if it actually disappears and I can't open the app anymore. And I'm not talking about just the addiction to like scrolling, but the actual enjoyment and the fun and, all that's going to disappear. And I think I'm gonna actually need to spend some legitimate time feeling sad about it.
Same. Here's what's going to happen, dude. I'm going to go outside and I'm going to see the moon and I'm going to say, damn, dude, that looks nice. I think I'm going to go stream. And I'm going to set up. I'm going to take my phone out. I'm going to put it up to the eyepiece of the moon. And then I'm going to go look for TikTok. And it's just not going to be there. And then I'm going to feel really empty. Not being able to hit that go live button is, at least for me, for someone who streams a lot, is going to just be such a gnarly transition. Because it's more than just a it's more than just a live stream for me, man. It is a part of me. It literally is just something that I do now. So to not be able to do that, I think definitely there's going to be some adjustment. And even when I find a way to hit that button on a different platform, it just won't be the same. You know, it won't be. It'll take a while getting used to, but yeah, I am definitely bummed about it. I told myself from now until that date, I am just going to stream as much as I can.
Yeah, it's not a bad idea.
See you, Kels.
I mean, it's gonna feel like losing a real life friend, like a person, you know, passing away. Like there's gonna be a loss, and then there's probably you have to go through those stages of grief. There's gonna be some like anger and denial, and you know, I mean, because then I'll be honest, like if I'm just to express the human side of me, like I'm sad about it, and if it leaves, I'm gonna have to grieve and mourn the loss of it. But then my mind goes, well, why is it gone? And then I'm like, oh yeah, like, and I'm not trying to stoke the fires here, but I'm gonna have to say my government took this away from me, you know, like, and then I'm angry. I actually would be feeling anger about that, and I have to process that well, and responsibly, you know, because there's, it is something that they're trying to do perhaps out of good intentions, but is not maybe the best thing for everybody in our country. And I feel like this is a first world problem to the max, but like, I think we actually need to be okay with being mad about it and not being okay with what's happening, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. Go ahead, Joe.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like it is a loss. I mean, there are a lot of, you know, people that have watched me for 2 years and have become mods and have become friends, and I am losing them, you know, and astronomy used to be, I carry a telescope out, I look at the moon for like 15 minutes, I check out all the craters, I go hit my marks in the night sky, I go, okay, there's Alberio, all right, here's Orion, great, da-da-da, and then this experience kind of might end in an hour because I'm like, oh, it's cold, or, you know, the sky's kind of not great, so I'm going to go inside. But TikTok and being live, I got to experience this with friends, and it was, look at that plane go by, or, oh, doesn't that crater look like a bear? Or there's Charlie Brown, and there's, you know, oh my gosh, look at that star. And I would have missed those things because I wouldn't have been talking to my friends with the stars as a backdrop, and that's what I'm mourning. You know, I'm always going to take my telescope outside, like Tan said, but now I think I made my last video where it's kind of my bye video. It's just like, well, there's not going to be a phone attached to it anymore, and there's not going to be someone making me laugh hysterically about some, you know, 80s sitcom that I just remembered, and that aspect is what I'm mourning. And going to truly miss, you know, I mean, I'm lucky I know you guys offline now. So I'm always going to have you guys in my lives and some certain other creators, but man, just the random, you know, I can think of, there's someone in Ukraine that used to pop in my lives. There's someone in Kuwait that, you know, it was this young adult in Kuwait that would just, you know, be so happy because I would remember their name. And, you know, I'm good. Like, I'm never going to hear from that person again if the app goes away. You know, it's just, that's sad. You know, now I'm getting angry. Like, those stages of grief, like, man, that was just a great way to put it, you know?
Yeah. Oh, man. We got to cope. We got to cope.
Yeah.
All I can say is, if you guys like go out to do Astro, just create a three-way phone call so we can at least just hang out while you're out there looking at the moon. We can mimic it at the very least.
Sorry.
I wonder if any of these like TikTok and mannerisms are going to stick around. Like, for example, I feel like if I move to another app, I'm still going to be like, yo, can y'all tap the screen? Everyone tap. Let's get to 10K. Yo, you know what I mean? Like all these little things. Yo, thank you so much for the shares.
Well,
or just the classic "Let's freaking go." I don't know. It's all those little things that I'm gonna miss.
Right.
What
What was the one thing you guys might not miss? Like, I'll tell you, part twos I
Ooh.
won't miss. Like, you ever watch those videos and you're
Oh,
like,
yes.
and tune in for part two so I can get more views on a different video. And you just want to throw the phone.
Guilty.
Just effing tell me.
I strategically make those.
Do you SOB?
Not anymore. But when starting out, that was a huge strategy to get more views.
Mm-hmm.
The part twos.
That is, oh my gosh.
I had so much hate message. People like, you could have just put that in one video, right?
Yeah. Well, I feel like it started to become off limits when they increased the runtime of TikToks. That back when the limit was like only a minute, it was and then 3 minutes or whatever it was. Like they didn't have 10 minutes or hour long videos like they do now. So now it's like you have no excuse. Like you had to trim it earlier. So I don't know, but yeah, those were the worst.
Mm-hmm.
What are some of the favorite inside jokes you guys had from live streaming on like Astro, like that you made with your community? Jokes, phrases, things that surfaced uniquely for you guys.
There's so many.
Oh my
Joe,
God.
you want to start?
Yeah, I mean, there was like
Take the
lint
wheel.
snake.
The
There
lint
was,
snake.
like I that is something that I'm gonna remember forever. And I think Zerillo is the one who came up with it. Like, goofy things that occurred during lives, like somebody just kept writing "I like corn" over and over again, so there was Corn Kid. Like, we just so many goofy things and things I stole from you guys, like just hearing your guys' lives. So I know Tan's got 1,000 of them. Yeah, there you go. So,
China number one.
And also
Classic. Yeah, there's too many. There's emo Nemo. Yeah,
yeah.
there's just too many. Too many. I'm gonna get sad talking about all of them, but there's a lot.
I'm gonna miss the Snorbital Alliance Awards.
Oh,
People
yeah.
falling asleep in my streams.
What about the
And,
bird?
and the duck? Yeah,
Yeah.
ducks happening across the stream, or across the moon. You know, the bird is the word. Every time there was like, I don't know, like a couple nights in a row where it was just constant birds flying in front of the moon, and every time one did, I was like, you have to put a duck in the chat, and then people would just spam ducks, and I would play the Surfing Bird song, and the number of people I frustrated and angered was very high. But I loved that one so much. Oh, those ducks.
the Snorbital ones, that's funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember being around for a lot of those.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they never get old. I mean, it was
All right, Dan, we will.
no, keep giving out Snorble awards. Okay, I can do that. Has anybody fallen asleep in this stream? Karen was here, so
Yeah, she maybe nodded out.
I know, maybe she did.
You know what I miss was before live studio, aiming my camera at the tablet sitting in my kitchen, and it would be like 3:00 in the morning, and that was like when it used to be Tipsy Joe talk, and it would just devolve into chaos and just like, oh man, that was before I took things real serious. But yeah, oh my God, I just like, those are some of the funniest memories. It's 3:00 in the morning. You know, I don't, yeah. And we're just playing music, aiming at the screen, watching videos.
Yeah.
Gosh.
Oh, dude.
Good times. Good times.
Mm-hmm.
How
I
many
just got here. Yeah, how many tacos have everyone eaten? I had mentioned that I had Taco Bell for lunch, so
I am hungry.
I'm starving.
Maybe a Waffle House stream.
yo,
That'd be legit, dude.
Sounds good.
We got Denny's by us. I don't think there's a Waffle House near us.
Denny's is good too.
I don't think there is. I think you're right.
All American Slam right now, I'd crush.
Ooh.
I crushed that so bad right now.
It's getting the waffle sweats over here.
You guys are awesome.
This is a bit of a deviation here, and this is kind of, if you guys were around on the Christmas stream or the episode that we did on the week of Christmas, Tan and I exchanged Christmas gifts. Tan, I got your present today.
Dude, open that shit. Open it up, baby. Open it up.
I'm gonna open this up. So let's
We did a Secret Santa.
What we got. Hang on. Oh, I need a. Do you think I don't have a knife with me? But do you think this will work? Do you think the lightsaber will cut it open?
Yes.
Hang on. I gotta get my my multi-tool. 1 second. You guys keep talking.
Oh, I'm excited for those of you guys that missed the whatever episode that was. We did a little Secret Santa. Nick sent me this cool Mike O'Hearn shirt. He's when I would talk about silent reposts, he's one of the creators on TikTok where I can enjoy to myself and only a select few of my friends. So if you are listening to this, you now know my kind of humor. But he sent me his t-shirt, one of his t-shirts. And Mike O'Hearn is just this bodybuilder dude that he just does memes, but it's incredible. And then I sent Nick some stuff, which he will be showing here.
Okay, I'm back. What I missed?
Not much. We were talking about Mike O'Hearn and your gift.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know what, dude? Now I'm thinking, now that TikTok's gonna be gone, now I kind of want to go like unfiltered and just say all the things that I've been wanting to say for a long time. Like, you know what?
Breaks are off.
I'm calling all you mother effers out. You, F you. You're cool. I don't know, man. I might just do it, dude. What do you think, chat?
Great movie.
You guys want to see Unfiltered Chasing the Milk?
Yes.
There you go.
Oh yes.
Start launching cheeseburgers.
Please do it.
Do it. You won't.
Do it. You won't. All right, here we go. I'm going to open up the goods. Here we go. All right, first up, if you guys remember, you didn't see this. Oh, this is so cool. Lego Emperor Palpatine from Star Wars.
No.
That's my dude.
Do it. Do it.
There we go. Do it. Yeah. Right? That's so cool. Oh, I love it.
Start it with your life.
And then, yeah, here we go. Here's.
Yeah.
This is the most delicious part of the package. Spam.
I'm concerned about your sodium intake.
25% less sodium.
Yeah, I'm concerned about his sodium. I didn't want to overdo it.
Yeah, me and Tiffy are birthday twins. We share the same birthday. End of the month.
Yeah.
And then lastly, and I'm extremely excited about this. This is so cool. It's like a metal build your own space station.
Let's go.
International Space Station, like assemble.
Does that look familiar, Dan? Heck yeah, dude. I'm so excited for you to put that together.
I'm going to have take some kind of focus medication or something because I gotta, this is going to take a lot of patience, and I'm ready to have it. I've got to find like a safe place for it so it doesn't get destroyed.
You'll need some tools too. You need some like really intricate, like small pliers and some tweezers and stuff. But
okay,
it'll be fun.
There you go. You can post that.
I know, Zaliro. So Zaliro had one too, and I was gonna do one. That's gonna take you like 30 hours.
30 hours? Oh boy, okay. Well, I'm in for the long run. Let's say, you guys, let's give myself the year. Like by the end of 2025, I have to have this complete. How's that for a challenge?
Right.
No, you gotta finish it before the TikTok ban.
No, come on, bro. What do you
30 straight hours.
Finish the can of spam or finish the space station?
Ooh. I love this. Are you salt? Because you sodium fine.
Ah.
Hold up. I've never eaten spam before.
Here, take this one. Here, pass it through the camera. There you go.
Ooh,
George,
magic
I need you.
powers.
I need you to close your eyes for a second. Everyone in the chat, just close your eyes.
Mm-hmm.
Picture the happiest moment in your entire life. Maybe you were a kid. Maybe you just got married. Maybe you just got a new car. But feel that extreme joy. Now picture the best tasting food you've ever had. Now you put those two things together and you get Spam. If you fry it, it's extremely good.
I opened my eyes to the Spam can.
Yes,
I'm like, holy crap, it did materialize.
it's called manifesting.
I did visualize a McRib, though. It's
Mm.
close to Spam. It's Spam with barbecue sauce.
It's pretty dang good.
Oh my gosh. It's taking everything I have to not just open it right now and just eat it straight out of the can.
Mm.
I don't have any utensils up here, but
Try it for breakfast or a burger. But I would say Spam and eggs, some potatoes. If you want to throw some pancakes in there,
okay.
that's it, man. You got yourself a solid breakfast.
Tomorrow it's happening.
Spam-nutized.
I will, Daniel. I will let you know because I'm probably going to need a lot of support on how to build that thing. I don't know where to start.
I was watching a guy build a Soundwave transformer that's very similar to that, and you turn it, you like watch his video, and I think he's cursing half the time. Like, it's so intricate that you have to bend things.
Yeah. It's worth it though, man. It's
can't wait
worth
to
it.
see
Just
it.
like astrophotography, all that blood and sweat, and you get the reward. It's worth it. You're just gonna eat it like, hold on, you're just gonna eat it like that?
Yep.
Oh wow. That's something I don't eat.
Cheers, boys.
Oh my god.
I
can't believe you just did that, bro.
That is
That's
ambitious.
wild.
Did
Yes.
I just desecrate the holy temple?
You did. Look, I will say though, I promise you, when you fry it, Nick,
Yeah.
fry it on both sides.
Mhm.
Oh, I think my TikTok just got kicked out. If you fry it on both sides, it's great.
Okay.
But I mean, if you're into that, go for it, bro. Oh man.
I have a feeling there's going to be some extra fuel for the mission to Mars.
It's actually really good. This is fantastic. I mean, I've had Spam before, but
Yeah.
Yeah, I've never had it raw out of the can.
mean,
I've
same,
always,
dude.
Like,
I can't
fried
do
it.
that.
Like, I literally thought you were a joke. I was like, wow, he's gonna
Yeah.
fix that. Like, no,
No,
It was
it's
hard for
straight
me
in.
to see,
really,
and I love
Right.
yes.
I'm
I
really
fry it.
surprised. Dude, try it. Look, it's like a huge, big old chunk out of it.
Yeah, I'd
There you
rather
go.
not.
Why not?
What?
It's fully cooked.
I don't know.
It's like eating
you
a
know,
raw
maybe I
hot
will
dog,
try it.
like right out of the package. Like, sure, you could do it.
Cut
It's
in
better
there.
than
no
a hot
reason.
dog.
First. Yeah,
It's like bologna. You eat
I do
bologna
like
cold.
bologna. Yeah, true.
Yeah, but I will fry it. I'll fry this for breakfast tomorrow morning.
Do it. Yeah, send me a photo.
I will. I'm gonna do that. But thank you for the gifts though, Dan.
Happy birthmas.
Birthmas, yeah.
Yeah. Bro is savage. You got to cook that. He is a savage.
Yeah.
Yeah, spam
We're
sushi
just-
rolls. Mm.
Dude, I got a stomach of steel after eating Taco Bell as often as I do. This is nothing.
Oof.
Oh my gosh.
Okay,
All right,
Daniel,
boys.
I will.
It's been a fantastic stream. We've been on for 2.5 hours, but what do you say? We want to wrap it up for the night and celebrate our last few days as Astro TikTokers?
Yeah.
Oh man, cool. Well, Joe, thanks for dropping in with us and filling in for the void until Tan can make it in. It's
Thank
awesome to have you back. For those of you who have just tuned in or were watching us tonight for maybe the first time, Joe was the original guest on episode 1 of
The OG.
the podcast. He was the
Everyone,
first one.
MVPs in the chat for Joe, real quick.
Oh,
Big MVPs, big W's.
Yep.
You know, Joe, the thing is, when I decided to do this podcast, I had to take a chance on random people that I met on TikTok, and I barely knew you, and I was like, you know what, this thing is either gonna die or take off, and because you said yes, it took off. So I have huge amounts of gratitude for you, man. Thank you so much.
No, thank you, man. I appreciate both of you. I think the podcast is awesome. You guys are doing great. I love your camaraderie. I love your sense of humor. Keep it going, man. World needs you. And anytime you guys need me back on, Nick, reach out. Tan, same. Thank you both for being a big part of my TikTok career. Thank you both for being my friend. And again, thank you all in the comment section as well. Make sure you guys catch every one of these guys' podcasts.
Dude.
Love you, bro.
Yeah, we love you, man. Yes. So everybody, thanks for tuning in tonight on episode 33. We'll be back here next Monday night, 9 p.m. I believe that's January 20th. So that's Inauguration Day. So if you're tired of politics, coming out with us and talk about space, because it's probably going to be, a little bit more neutralizing and calming of an experience. But yeah, we're looking forward to seeing you all there. Thanks for your support in every way. Thanks to those of you who are members, those who've given supers to support the channel. And we will be looking forward to extra great things. We are going to be having another guest next week. This will not just be me and Tan, but we're going to have a fun one in store. I think you guys are going to love this one. So come back, please, to say hi.
Also, happy early birthday to Zaliro on the 20th.
Yo, yeah.
Hey, happy
Nice.
birthday.
Happy early B-Day.
Yeah. Seriously, guys, thank you all so much for showing up. I every time I look over that and I see how many people are in here, I'm just filled with gratitude.
Mm-hmm.
So thank you for showing up. We understand sometimes the podcasts are long, they're late, so not everyone is going to always be able to watch every single one, and you're not always going to watch the entirety of every single thing, but just know that these will live on the internet, and if you ever want to catch up, Nick has made a whole playlist where you can literally just knock them all down.
Yep.
Get to know us, get to know our guests, and we just hope you learn something. So thank you.
For sure. All right, y'all. Have a fantastic evening. And as always, we will see you all on the other side.